Welcome to the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast and radio show infused with hip hop. I am Wood.
Made daily with organic, farm to table, localized, neuralized, sterilized, Scotch guarded for 2020 repellent, available online, shipped via Amazon, not available on Sundays, but now available on thebeastradio.com. Broken Pencil Logic. You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgundy.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We got two more of them things left after this one right here. Now back with approval from the greats, T Long. I am Mr. Copyright Infringement himself, the Petty Messiah, and the big man, and the medium-sized man have got a show for you.
We back, bitch.
Anything.
It's truly beautiful how we just done completely changed Teddy Long's name to T Long.
T Long. Look, I don't know if we can really use it.
Look, we protect our own around here. Like
we do.
Let's just keep it real. Like we are the home of preserving our culture in pro wrestling. Like we take care of our own.
I don't think we put enough stank on what Teddy Long told Petty Messiah roughly 4 weeks ago.
Please do.
I ain't been right since. Ain't nobody been able to get a hold of me. That man looked at me in my face.
First of all, hold on. I'm gonna land this plane because Suave Burgundy, the Petty Messiah, and Wood are officially players. Let's start with that.
Yeah, let's start with that.
Player. So I'm a Oos player. Player Oos.
So right. So Suave is part Oos, part player. And the Petty Messiah and myself are officially players because we have been ordained so by one Theodore R. Peanut Head Long.
Oh, don't forget we got baptized in Gangstaism too.
We did. Yes, we did.
We're coming to that. I'll let you land that plane, Swab. But what you did not hear from the first time we went to SWE Fury was Teddy Long walks up to the Petty Messiah after shaking our hands and demanding someone take our picture with one of our phones and make sure it was a good one, his words. But he said, the Petty Messiah, that's some powerful shit.
There you go. So the contract negotiations start after that moment.
My value is no higher now.
I mean, I can't.
There's so many words got to talk about the amount of money that Petty Messiah is about to negotiate for, but it can be summed up from one Ron Murray with the simple phrase:
"Price just went up. Price just went up."
There it is.
I've never been more valuable.
I mean, at this point, I'm Daniel Bryan after the Yes Group.
Damn, that part.
The funny thing, and shout out to everybody over at SWE. We gotta shout them out. Apparently, we're a faction.
That part. They're expecting us to debut any day now.
Any day now.
Me talking to there's more stank on this one, Petty. You don't know about this one. So after talking to Tony Snow, shouts out Tony Snow. Safe travels coming back to Texas this weekend from Sacramento.
What up, Tony?
This fool had the nerve to tell me that first off, I was like, there are guys come up to us shaking our hands and thanking us for coming out, while we had legends like the newly retired Jazz, Melina, Supermex looking at us from a distance and wondering who the hell these 5 black guys were standing up in the back of the arena, just minding our own business as a group.
So I asked entire show.
So I asked Tony, I was like, why do I feel that people who are shaking our hands, we need to know? They were like, they thought you guys were a faction invading.
Right.
Like they're going to hit the ring any minute.
Any minute now.
For those of you who haven't seen us, Suave and myself are over 6 feet tall. We're at a total combined weight of well over 600 pounds.
Gotta be.
and
I'm looking pretty snazzy right now, but
we might be hovering closer to the 550 than the 600 pound mark. Either way, we are two more than average menacing human beings.
Yeah, imagine 3-minute warning at their most in shape.
We are flanked by one Petty Messiah who's approximately 5'7", 5'8", coming
5'8", 265 pounds.
Also,
Taz in his prime.
Also flanked by Ricky Blaine,
Maurice Jones-Drew.
There you go.
The bowling ball of butcher knives.
I am here to hurt everybody in the ring.
flanked by one Ricky Blaine, who looks like who could be walking us to the ring with some verbs and some nouns, and also his manager D Wade. And I swear,
there you go.
And we all were draped in the perfect apparel, broken pencil gear for everybody.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying?
People were very confused.
Shout Swain, Ricky Blaine.
You can tell that there was a tension that people were like, okay, what's happening?
Yeah, why are they here and why are none of them moving closer to the ring?
They were nervous.
They have not moved all night long.
We stood in one spot all night long and just garnered so much attention. Then Teddy Long walks by and shoots the shit with us again, and it's like, oh.
While he's on shift.
Yeah, the show is going on. Like, okay, yeah, they're about to debut.
He's in between promos and walks past us and turns around and says, players.
Players. Right.
Play a circle, man.
Wait a minute. He's looking at his watch. It looks like your time, player, is up.
Boy, hey, you know what? We might need to go ahead and do just enough training to be like Teddy Long's hired security.
I feel like that is the whole purpose.
If my whole
time
job
is up playing, we come clean the whole ring out.
If my whole job is bump and roll out the ring, I got you on at least 2 of those occasions. Just make sure they worth it.
Oh, we gonna roll them out the ring. All you gotta do is close on.
Yeah.
Yo, what's even crazier? I think I shared this with Suave. I didn't share this with you, Petty.
What's up?
One Taskmaster, Games Master, Kevin Sullivan walks right past us. We're in mid-conversation, and we didn't realize it was him until we saw the back of him and the way he walked. So I walked over to Tony Snow. Hey, man, is that Kevin Sullivan? He said, yeah, he's on commentary. He's one of our bookers. I'm like, that's dope. The next day, Tony Snow sends me a message that has a autographed picture from Kevin Sullivan to the crew. To the crew.
To the crew.
Only to be outdone by the fact that Tony Snow was handed Kevin Sullivan's golden spike.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I said the same thing when I heard it.
I can't make this up, bro.
What?
Yeah.
No.
I guarantee you Kevin Sullivan's gonna get us over when he books.
Man,
oh yeah,
I'm gonna try my best to send this to you while we're live right now, Petty. But man, that I was lightweight dope. I was like, yo, this is cool. So I saw the golden spike. I'm like, you bitch.
Everything's cool till he sent the spike.
It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
We got the Xerox that 8x10.
Right. And just hold it.
Yeah, everybody needs a copy for their own crib. You keep the original.
Yeah, you can keep it. You can keep it.
Jules, check your phone right about now. I'm sending you the picture of the spike.
All I got is Petey Green.
Shouts out Petey Green. Rest in peace, Petey Green.
Boy, so I got a phone full of Petey Green, and that's all you gonna get.
Hold on, it's coming through, but it just came in. Hold on. Come on now. He really got the spike. He really. Boy, if this big
zoom in on it.
What his name on it?
Right on. For the proper effects.
Come on, man.
It gets no better than that.
It's a hard knock life.
So when you look at it, you can't, as appropriate as it goes, gets ready to put something in the college fund. He ain't able to tell us shit from this point on.
Not a damn thing.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
You won't be able to stop it. You can't do it because that's official. You get what I'm saying?
And there's one other piece. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say there's one other piece of news I'm gonna hold on to for just a little bit out of respect for other events taking place.
Let me land this plane real quick. Today that you're listening to this is Thursday, June the 3rd. Year of our Lord. I say year of our Lord. 20 and 21.
Amen.
And this is also the month of wood coming from the exit of the womb. You know what I'm saying? There will be a birthday
from the womb to the wood tour.
There will be a black extravaganza this month on the Broken Pistol Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast and radio show infused with hip hop in video form as well. Get ready. we got some stupid shit for you coming up. Some very entertaining stupid shit coming up for you this month.
So we should really refer to the month of June as Woodstock.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it, but it's been taken. We got to come up with something better than that.
I mean, we just gonna revive it.
We're bringing it back.
Bringing it back, Woodstock.
Live from the lumberyard.
I'll take it. Live from the lumberyard, Woodstock, ladies and gentlemen. June has henceforth been named Woodstock Live from the Lumberyard, courtesy of Wood. That's right. Man, we got some drama popping off.
That's good.
Later on in the show, we will recap AEW Double or Nothing, but that's not what we own right now. There was some stuff that happened not long after we went off the air from last week's show, and we spent way too much time talking about the Ultimate Warrior and the dark side of the ring. The beginning of the beginning warrior or something warrior, which seemed like becoming warrior, which seemed like another spin on the self-destruction DVD that we talked about so vehemently on the last episode. And man, smut and filth was the phrase that Dana Warrior referred to the Vice documentary as for Dark Side of the Ring. Says she had nothing to do with any other production of this particular broadcast. Mind you, just for those playing along at home, either one of you, who is Dana Warrior employed by?
The World Wrestling Entertainment Conglomerate.
Circle gets the square.
Yeah.
Now, let's keep it moving here.
All right.
Following the Vice splash, the very first thing you see on this documentary, which made me hit pause about 8 seconds into this show, is the recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment, the WWF logo. But you're talking about this as smut and filth as if you have no involvement?
Yikes.
You think Vince McMahon is giving away footage for two upstart documentarians on a network that's not owned by NBC for the sake of monetary gain for free? And for someone the caliber of Dana Warrior and as it relates to the impact of her in this broadcast, if she was so vehement about not being a part of this in any stretch of the imagination, why in the hell is she in this?
Where is she in it?
Towards the end, but maybe the last 10 minutes.
You sure that's not the first wife still?
Positive. Absolutely positive.
I got to go back and catch the exact point where she's in because I tried to watch the ending part.
His first wife was in it for the majority. She was an integral part in the entire storytelling of this. But there was a clip or two with Dana Warrior towards the end. She wasn't in like the first 3 segments. I think it was the last segment that she was in, but she's definitely in this documentary.
I'll take your word for it. Here's the crazy part. Like, this documentary, the Dark Side of the Ring version of Becoming Warrior, is less damning than the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior that WWE produced.
Facts. But some of the commentary between Jim, let me stop you real quick, Swab, because I got to put some stank on this. It goes to tell you that to of the greatest writers, bookers, managers, presence in the history of this business, of the pro wrestling business, are also two of the most astute wordsmiths the world have ever seen. And Jim Cornette and Paul Heyman. It goes without saying that for these two men. And then you couple Jim Ross into this equation as well, who was there from the very beginning of this man's wrestling career. And not a nan untruth was spoken.
Yeah, nobody went out of their way to give much opinion. It was all based in fact. This is all stuff that you had audio recordings of actual Jim Hellwig, aka Warrior saying himself, or firsthand accounts from his wife, who, as you know, stated in the documentary, was married to him from 86 to 91, which is the height of his that's the height. That's it. Like after that, it's kind of a circle in the drain type thing, but everybody involved was there. There's no hearsay involved with this, and there's not a lot of air quotes constructive criticism from people he worked with. This is just all stuff that happened.
All of the usual suspects were there. Sting, Jim Ross, the infamous letter from Vince McMahon was included. What else?
Jake Roberts. That's the part that I didn't know, and that kind of
that's probably the biggest surprise. And it's funny that you mentioned him, because on tonight's episode, it's about the Roberts family. Jake, Grizzly Smith, Nicola Roberts, and I'm sure Sam Houston is gonna have an appearance in this too. It's gonna be very, very interesting.
Like just the fact that Warrior's SummerSlam hold-up job, he basically got fired coming back through the curtain after holding Vince up for like stupid amounts of money and threatening not to show up and not to go through with everything.
And Jake was the dance partner. I didn't realize this is what led to Jake's demise. Jake never recovered. Jake's claim to fame beyond this was, what was the documentary?
The DDP documentary?
No. The
Beyond the Mat.
Thank you, sir. Beyond the Mat.
Beyond the Mat, and then
also the starting of Austin 316.
I'm sorry, the resurrection of Jake the Snake Roberts, the Netflix documentary that came much later.
Yes, I mean, no, that too, but the two main things were the Beyond the Mat and also the beginnings of Austin 316, which are only things that came from Jake Roberts past this whole Warrior thing. So to say that Warrior dropped Jake's bag would be an understatement.
Sabotaged his championship run, because according to Jake and everything else, his championship run was supposed to start right after SummerSlam with a program with the Ultimate Warrior. And for some reason, I feel like when Jake turned heel, they kind of got into it a little bit, because that's, you know, the snake bit the Warrior in the face and XYZ, but it never materialized. And then the only part I kind of wish they'd have gone more into, if he got fired right after SummerSlam 91, how did he end up back in WWE so quick for WrestleMania 8?
Again,
which is, March, April of 92.
It's a different time.
Well, no, it was a healing period, because it was really a suspension for no less than 90 days is what the letter stated. However, you're holding the company hostage for them being the premise of your demise in your marriage. But when your wife calls you in the hotel room and you hear and she hears a woman's voice next to him in the bedroom,
like, bro, you couldn't make her go in the bathroom.
This fool had a planner. This fool had a day planner with cities and chicks' names in each date.
You wrote it down?
Sam.
You left the evidence.
You idiot.
Oh, Sam.
You idiot.
This is the equivalent of having inbox conversations on an unlocked phone.
Bruh.
Don't do it.
Now, do you understand why air quotes drug dealers don't write down phone numbers?
I don't know who this is.
This is how speaking in code started. This whole premise.
Like, yeah, this isn't cell phone era or, burner phone era. But I mean, at the very least, you could have not answered the phone right then and just said, "Hey, I was in the shower. I'll call you back." Or you make a little bit go in the bathroom. Like, what are you doing?
These are all facts.
These are like you had no regard for your marriage and it fell apart from your own actions.
It's funny.
But you tried to make Vince McMahon drop out because you're tearing my marriage apart. Get the entire fuck out of here. Put me in the scholarship fund.
Sir.
Gladly, sir. Gladly. There's way too much energy being spent on Warrior right now. We've never spent this much energy, I don't think, on anybody.
But it's fun because it's fun.
It's Warrior.
Fun. You listen to that dude and he does his public speaking, motivational speaker conference little things on the cool. And I know some people are gonna be upset when they hear this, but I don't give a damn. He is the first member of the MAGA movement.
Yeah.
Bruh.
The
Easily.
Warrior was alt-right as shit.
and didn't have a problem announcing it, saying it, and being a figurehead for it in a lot of ways.
To paraphrase,
He mixed the cement for the foundation of that shit.
he drove that truck. To paraphrase, he said queering had no place in America.
Queering doesn't make the world work was his exact quote.
He also stated that it doesn't matter what color you are, he's a human racist. Wait, what?
That's funny as shit. I want that on a shirt.
Like people?
Yeah, that's it. That's code. That is the adaptation of I don't like people. And I say I don't like people all the time.
That is an aggressive way to say that. But I guess
I kind of want to spend
if you're
time
the warrior.
I kind of want to spend time going through that particular letter, like the transcript of that damning speech. But nah, because there was somebody in the crowd that made him that basically scrawny guy that's barking at him from the aisle, maybe 20 feet away from him, saying, "You need to apologize for that statement." Listen, if you can,
sir, stop before he comes down here and
go
kills
watch.
all of you.
Go watch Viceland, Dark Side of the Ring, or Vice, Dark Side of the Ring, Becoming Warrior. Oh my goodness! Even and couple that with the A&E documentary. It's 3 hours of stellar television. 2 hours if you actually have the apps. Stellar television. Just for someone that at one time you probably cheered for, but after you watch this, you probably wish you wouldn't have. Either way, it's part of wrestling history. You need to pay attention to it. That said, let's get this out the way. WWE has also released a couple of people.
Everybody. Just everybody.
Let's
It's people being
at least one of these people didn't even do nothing to nobody.
Let's start with the announcers. Adnan Virk, the latest Raw lead announcer for Raw.
He was just at work on Monday.
He is gone.
When you say his name out loud like that, I'm like, yeah, he wasn't gonna last long anyway. His name.
Nah. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Did he come from the Major League Baseball Network?
You are correct.
You're correct.
So the only tie-in Major League Baseball has ever had with WWE is the fact that they were the ones that well,
Pete Rose.
That's right.
The second tie-in WWE
got
ever had. Well, 3 because there's Pete Rose. I forgot about that.
That was so Bob Uecker, Pete Rose. What's the third?
Was before Adnan.
Didn't they have a mascot that came to like an event?
The Philly
Fanatic.
mascot.
So make that 4. This counts going up. Oh,
and Anna.
Now you're gonna make me think about this.
The company that
mixtape.
The company.
Wait, didn't Wade Boggs show up at a WrestleMania somewhere?
Who? Wade Boggs. You might be right.
Yeah, he did.
I don't remember which one, but that happened.
Oh man,
Randy. What's the big tall white dude that hit a bird with a baseball?
Randy
in the middle
Johnson.
Of the game?
But that
Randy Johnson?
He was just in the crazy.
Did he show up at a game?
He was in
an
the crowd. He was probably because every time they go to a city where there's a sports team, the athletes always show up.
They pepper the crowd.
Yeah,
he was way more southern. That seems like a WCW thing.
The big unit. But no, he played for Arizona though.
Yeah, but
it counts.
He also played for Seattle, but he himself, Randy Johnson.
Yeah,
seems like he ought to be Jake the Snake Roberts' cousin.
He really does seem like Jake the Snake's like younger cousin.
So,
but they're like Viltrumites because that mustache won't tell you how old they are.
Damn it!
It's Super Trooper mustache will hide the age.
Omni-Man mustache.
How many layers of that mustache 4. That means he's 43 years old based on the number of gray hairs in that third layer.
Jeez, bruh.
So the only other tie-in besides those that we just named off was the fact that the WWE Network was was built off of the same principles or the same people who designed the MLB.com app. And
Okay.
but that to be said, why are we still dealing with baseball and wrestling?
Because they have bats.
AJ Przinsky didn't
And Sting carried a bat.
AJ Przinsky didn't pose a threat to Impact when he was in TNA.
The Kiss Demon, for some reason, had a bat.
Didn't Dale Torborg play baseball at some level?
I believe you're right. I believe he played triple.
They had some guy that was dressed up like one of the baseball furies from the Warriors. That's right.
Dear God.
Warriors,
Go.
come out to play.
Crazy. Also gone. This is a big surprise because he was just on 205 Live last Thursday prior to the release that we heard about. Tom Phillips.
He was just at work.
He was just at work.
This is the second time this has happened.
That's probably more surprising. Adnan Virk apparently asked for his release and it was granted. Tom Phillips is out of there. We don't know what the situation is with that one, but that seemed to be pretty damn quick.
Tom Phillips or Adnan Virk? Adnan
Phillips
got another job.
Tom Phillips more than Adnan Virk, because Adnan, when you go from being like, when you commentate baseball, you have longevity in this business because you're working literally half the year. 162 games in the regular season, not to mention another 2 months of playoff ball, a month and a half of playoff ball. Yeah, you're playing like you're working a long ass schedule. And if you really want to count the preseason, we're talking about that starting at the middle of February. So we're talking like basically the whole year sans like the winter months. Now, here's another one. Josiah Williams. Now, Swab, I want you to elaborate on this one for the pencil pushers here, because this one is right up your wheelhouse.
So, Josiah Williams, most notably famous for walking Adam Cole to the ring and performing lyrics over Undisputed Era's classic theme music. Also, was contributing a lot to WWE's musical production side. Part of the reason I think they were able to move on from CFOs is the fact that Josiah Williams was putting together a lot of modern hip hop infused music, and it was helping, push them in a different direction.
He was poisoning himself to be the next Jim Johnston.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the first time they've had, someone in that role that could actually perform music as well.
He's gone.
He's a faith, supposedly a faith-centered artist, from what I understand, and he wasn't bad at all.
Squeaky clean image. Here's the problem.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
This man also produced and performed the entrance music for one Serena Deeb, your NWA Women's World Heavyweight World Champion.
Yes.
Why is this a problem? Oh, because Serena Deeb was part of NXT, who has been let go as part of budget cuts, and then jumped ship and became a NWA powerhouse, wrestling for the first time in years, and actually doing a damn good job putting what her teaching talents to use in the squared circle on weekly television for AEW.
Is Serena currently healthy? Because I remember some had asked.
She got a whole fight coming up.
No, she
okay.
No, she also got injured and had surgery. So she's held the title for like 5 months, but she was on the shelf for a few of those.
Okay, cool. Is she using this song? I figure she might be using it on NWA Power, but I also don't believe WWE would have a problem with that. Is she using that same entrance music for AEW?
I wouldn't be surprised if she was. The problem is with NWA, with AEW more than anybody. Petty, all right. With AEW more than anybody, you don't really hear the women's interest music or anybody for that matter outside of Chris Jericho. And you can't help but hear Eddie Kingston and John Moxley's music because you know what it is and where it came from. North of that, no, you really don't know anybody's. Oh, and Cody. North of that, you really don't know anybody's music in AEW.
Big Swole. I recognize Swole's music anytime I hear it. Because all it is just saying her name repeatedly. Swole! Swole!
Like Moose?
Swole!
Right, exactly.
When I tell you I thought Moose was a generic, what is that boy's name with the red tights? Not Ahmed, but they Ezekiel Jackson.
Yeah.
But apparently Moose is a play on his government name, which is unpronounceable. Part of the reason why he's just going by Moose.
Jesus.
Is Moose Nigerian?
Believe so. He's definitely of the.
If there was ever a time,
he's pure uncut.
Look, if there was ever a time,
bruh, that's who should have been.
if there was ever a time,
if Moose was free, he should have been the guy who in the Commander Aziz position.
Come on, man. If there was ever a time,
Apollo Crews as Moose, man, you can hang it up.
Ooh, you can hang it up. And that boy going straight to the moon.
And Moose is indeed Nigerian.
Nice. So
Queen Ojinaka.
Tom Phillips got released.
Josiah
got released.
Josiah didn't do nothing to nobody.
Right. None of these people did anything to anyone.
But Josiah's situation is more along the lines of if Vince is saying we record music for Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, even SoundCloud. Y'all don't get none of this work. We only giving our shit to Spotify.
No, but think about how stupid that is. Didn't we interview Rusty Jukes not that long ago?
Shouts out Vic. What up, Vic?
Right. Who provides the entrance music for Jake Atlas?
That's a 9-year-old song.
Right, that they just picked up on some sync licensing. So who's to stop AEW from also getting a Rusty Jukes record and assigning it to an artist?
It's not like he signed to WWE Records. Like Hit Row.
Wait, hold on. Here's a bigger one. Here's a bigger name. How about Boss?
Who?
The Boss. Sasha Banks.
Who does our music?
So you got Snoop Dogg doing her music. And you also have Snoop doing Cody's remix? And both of them are playing in the same week on different networks, different
You're not signed to WWE Records. If somebody wants to option one of my songs in both organizations, I'll cut the check.
Yeah, like, are you gonna discipline Sasha because Snoop is out getting a bag?
You cut the check.
But you could make her change her music.
Now, if you want to re-up his deal and give him more money and then say, oh, okay, exclusive rights to everything.
That's different.
Everything you record from this day forward, you can't retroactively, unless I did it for you, you can't retroactively stake claim to music I've done before I signed this new deal.
You mean that Vince McMahon cannot force WWE Hall of Famer Calvin Bros' Snoop Dogg to stop performing music for another organization, another wrestler who was
not unless he got a Legends deal.
Snoop will forcibly blow weed smoke in your face.
In your face.
To quote the great Dr. Dre, bitch, please.
I'm just they cut off their nose to spite their face more times than anybody I've ever seen.
I will never understand, and why we even having this conversation about Josiah, when y'all had Jim sitting right there and y'all went to the CFOs. And literally, Jim could have still done everything he needed to do.
How about this? How about you have Jim produce the CFOs? Quincy Jones produced Michael Jackson. Are you kidding me?
It's a paper trail of money. They keep moving their agreements to new production groups, because you don't have to pay the new production group the same type of money that you have to pay the old one who's already established. Jim Johnson has more classics under his belt than any other producer in wrestling. So
including Jimmy Hart.
including Jimmy Hart.
Including
First
Jimmy
and foremost,
Hart.
the realest thing Jim Johnson ever did, no mixtape, I got to give him an honorable mention, is playing Bray Wyatt's music at WrestleMania.
I'm sorry. That's what I'm doing. That's an Apollo moment right there. That's a legendary moment.
I'm talking because it took me a minute to realize who was this scrawny old white dude going in. Oh shit, that's Jim.
and let's not confuse this with the producer of Lollipop.
No.
There's Jim Johnson and Jim Johnston.
Right. And we're talking about the only Jim that we know from wrestling.
Slim Jim.
Like, I don't
no snapping.
And when they just let him go. And I'm like, how do you let this man who's built your musical section for years? How do you let that man walk out your offices and go, no, we're gonna be okay? Because y'all haven't been okay.
Because the price of a brick on the re-up was too much.
Right, there you go. That part.
So now we're gonna move on to CFOs. Let them distribute the work for a while, and then when the price of a brick on the re-up is too much, we move on to somebody else.
You know what song the CFOs made that was totally jamming and it never really got to come to light? Remember Tough Enough when the big dude won? The Yeti?
The Yeti.
The Yeti, I don't remember what his name was. I just remember they would call him the Yeti for some reason. I was like, all right, cool, that's fine.
Some of those later seasons of Tough Enough, I kind of bypassed. I got to go back and watch them. Like
I watched the one that counted. That's the one that, if I'm not mistaken, Mandy Rose came from.
Yeah, it is. Mandy Rose, I think she was second runner-up. You're talking about Josh Brettel.
Yes. Josh's music was jamming. Like, I mean, like, to the point I was like, hey, who is this? That's his music? Oh, hell yeah.
What I didn't realize is that Josh Brettel actually had a WWE name. Because he was an integral part. It was a behind the scenes show that was talking about how wrestlers from NXT were like, going to the PC and dealing with like Regal and what's Matt Bloom and Triple H. Because like when Enzo and Cass got promoted to Raw, we found out on that show. But when Josh kept getting hurt before he got cut, all this was on that same show. But yeah, you're absolutely right. When the music that he had on Tough Enough was
jamming,
bro.
Now I got Josh's music was jamming when he came out there fight his match. I think he fought Cesaro. Because they had the training match. They came out there and fought. All of them fought Cesaro. Like Z fought Cesaro and Josh fought Cesaro.
That's when they had the
Josh music.
I think this was when they got rid of Good Try Terry because of the nonsense, and the Angle replaced them to end the season.
Right, with Stone Cold.
Yep.
Didn't they?
Yikes. Hey, do your Googles and play them shit so I can hear them.
Z's music was trash. But it was like some Zydeco weird. It wasn't even Bayou Billy. Because first and foremost, I'll never understand why somebody with a Bayou gimmick does not come out to the first stage in Bayou Billy. It just makes sense.
Because you got to pay for and that, Sam. That's why. Price.
Nami don't care. It's been over 20 years.
Shout out to Jimmy John for also doing my favorite WWE theme, Dan Severn.
Yeah.
Shit jammed too hard.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me bring.
So we get this faction thing going. You think they'll sue us if we use Dan Severn's music as our entrance music?
Yeah, gotta catch us first, hoe.
Because I feel like either that should be the music right there.
Yeah. I mean, all we gotta do is like with those. I hit up CG. We throw some 808 drums on there. We'll be fine.
I mean that. See Murder and Snoop.
That's how you fix everything. You put some trap drums on and you good.
Right.
There you go, Squab. That's for you right there. That shit is hard.
That's Dan. Oh yeah,
that's Dan Severn.
Yeah. That's just hard. I threw that on just for you, Suave. Just for you.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Hey, can we close out with that plan?
And help you.
You need to start adding those instrumentals in with the rest of them.
Nah, man, we got things going on YouTube right now. Let's see if we can find this.
Either that or our faction intro could be that Lil Jon intro to the DJ Drama mixtape.
We need to get cool with Mark Henry so we can somebody go get their ass kicked.
They don't have the
hey, whoa, hey.
Somebody go get their ass kicked.
Yeah.
Hey, go get that Will split.
Yeah.
Petty. They have the whole match on here. They don't except for Josh's intro. They have the match versus Cesaro, but they
just started the bell. They don't show him walk out.
No, they show him in the ring.
Already in the ring. From parts unknown.
Trash. I don't think you'll ever be able to find it because they knew they were gonna have to use that again. Like
it's out there. We'll do some digging. As we continue on though, Suave, you sent me a message last week as we were doing show prep. We have another MIA from social media at the hands of the WWE. Maybe, but someone who's involved in WWE just got banned from Twitch.
Who is that?
Paige.
dang them.
As the page turns.
Paige.
How do you get banned from Twitch?
Copyright infringement.
Lewd and illicit behavior.
Copyright infringement.
That's what it was?
Huh?
Yeah. It was copyright infringement. And I'm not joking when I say that. She really got banned. Dead ass. She got banned from Twitch for copyright infringement. She did a live stream of a movie.
It was a DC.
If I'm not mistaken.
It was a DC or DMCA claim. Yeah. Wow.
What was it?
She had a watch party, and for some movies and TV shows from Prime Video, but apparently Paige wasn't utilizing this option. And so she faced a DMCA ban as a result. This is according to Dexerto.com.
That sucks.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, this is how she was making bread. Wait, is she with the WWE right now?
Yes. She's probably one of the only people still employed by WWE that actually has a Twitch channel that's active.
Yeah.
There you go. I
mean, her giving up the bag will probably be better than her trying to collect the bag on her own. I mean, she's not Thea Trinidad, and that's not a knock on Paige. It's just that Thea Trinidad made herself more viable than Paige has because Thea Trinidad was still performing to a degree.
Yeah, man, I hate that for Paige. That's another situation, but she set herself up great, kind of like Miz, where I got hurt, but I'm still valuable. Use me for something, please. Don't fire me.
Can you do reaction videos just so long as you're not showing the content?
I mean, I to my knowledge, like if it's in the background and you're not like you don't have the content in the back like showing, then yeah, like if people are hearing it and you see what's going on, like you kind of feel because you watched it and you know what you're quote unquote listening to with your ears or watching with your ears, then yeah, I haven't seen any reaction videos ever get banned.
That part. Now I've been banned on YouTube. I did we did joke commentary on a UFC fight. But we were showing the pay-per-view as we were doing the this is after the fact. It wasn't a live stream.
Oh, okay.
But it was from a pay-per-view. So we showed it as we were doing the joke commentary. I got an immediate cease and desist from UFC. Specifically from them. From them. Like, no, this wasn't a YouTube censorship. UFC
like,
intervened.
Hey, buddy. Hey, you can't do
UFC.
Hey, man.
UFC ratted me out.
What'd you say, Petty?
Hey, man. We got to the point we don't even have to finish the statement. You just pop in with a hey, man. Hey, man.
You saw what happened to me.
I wish there was a way we could properly spell that so people can say it properly in a hashtag.
Hey, man.
Oh, one of the great moments of Rock Paper history right there, I'm telling you. Yo, MLW is I don't know what's up with the timeliness or lack thereof of their draft, but night 2 of their draft took place last week. And adding to the list of people drafted, we have Gringo Loco, King Mo, because bitch, Texas, and Filthy Tom Lawler, as well as AR Fox student Alex Kane. who is a legit wrestler, college rugby player, 5'11", 240 pounds. And he's also, it looks
I'll
like
fight him.
it's looking like he's setting himself up to be part of America's Top Team with Dan Lambert. We shall see. Because all this is leading up to this July 10th. I guess it's a pay-per-view for the season premiere of MLW back in Philadelphia. We shall see.
I'm interested to see what.
All right.
Yeah, it looks.
Let him fight.
Yeah, good on you, brother. Good on you. Yeah, and that's it. That's all we got for today. Oh no, it's not. No, it's not. I'm tripping.
I'm finna say you missing some shit, son.
Well, help me out, co-host. Hell.
Hey man,
hey man,
Hey man,
hey man, you saw what happened to Mick? He took an unprotected ass chair shot to the dome piece.
it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Kablam! Concussion. So there's rumors of an exclusive U.S. partnership between WWE and New Japan Wrestling.
Oh shit!
On exclusive U.S. partner.
So this is I already know how, to a degree, which how you feel, Suave. So we'll come back to you on this one. Real time response, Petty. What you think, bro?
When you really hate somebody, but you told everybody you didn't care about it, but you really hate them, and you decide, I'm just gonna be petty. I was just gonna go fuck the girl you fucking.
And knock her slap down.
Knock her slap down and knock her up and get her and marry her.
Oh my god.
Let me see how much you don't love her.
If you love her so much, is that your girl tour or world tour?
If that's your girlfriend, she wasn't last night.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus. Like there was no reason for this to happen. Like New Japan Pro Wrestling is great for the people that follow it. And the Puroso, I'm saying it wrong. Is it Puro Reso? Curacao. Okay. For the faithful to that style, it's going to be amazing to see people that nobody that really follows that in America knows. It'll be the equivalent of Hakushi coming out back in the day and people going, who is Hakushi? It'll be the equivalent of Jushin Thunder Liger coming out and nobody knowing who he is. You get what I'm saying? It's a lot of people who are super dope at the house, but then you come over here and then you job them out to somebody over here. And it's like, well, what are we doing? Like, what's the purpose of this?
Yeah, that absolutely defeats the purpose.
All right,
I don't see any purpose and value for New Japan for them to let their talent come over here to WWE when we got storylines. And I know you ain't finna fight Bobby.
Well, so okay, let me stop you real quick before I get Suave's input, because I have my own take on this too.
No, I'm listening. Go ahead.
To my knowledge, it's a talent trade where WWE stars would go to Japan. In that case, I haven't read anything.
That's why Balor got pulled from TV.
Maybe.
That's why Balor got pulled from TV. That's why Daniel ain't on TV.
There's something else that happened with Balor though. There's something else brewing with him. So.
And they wanted to bring him to Raw, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. Who better to send over to Japan than the guy that was in Japan? Like what?
It's all factual data, but we come up with a lot of stuff that would be really smart and like, hey, there's no better solution than this. And then what do we get on television every week?
Hey guys,
Raw.
We know you listen. Real quick, if you can send ASAP Ferg over to New Japan and also send the American Dragon behind him when he go over there.
Or as I refer to him now, Finnegan
Finnegan
Balor.
I
ASAP Ferg.
I should have never found out his first name. I'm never gonna be able to be friends with him now.
ASAP Ferg is hilarious.
I figure I mean we after we called him Wyatt Darby.
So when he comes back, his theme should be I'm on a new level. I'm on
right here.
Yeah, that's the new faction music.
Dude, ASAP Ferg, hands down though. If you guys didn't get to see it and you're listening, check out the fight between him and Karrion Kross, between Kross and Balor 2. It was phenomenal.
That was not worthy of being on USA. Let me say
shouldn't have been on TV. It shouldn't have been on regular TV at all.
If nothing else, put it on Peacock, man. But God,
they could have opened the show, had 45 seconds of intro. Right, that's for every time. They could have given me 45 seconds of Beth and what's his name, Wade Barrett, and I can't remember the other guy on NXT.
Tom
45
Phillips?
seconds of them doing the intro, and then Balor's music hits, and then Cross's music hit, and that's the whole show. They could have fought an Iron Man match on that episode of NXT, and it would have been worth every penny.
So Suave, what's your take on this potential merger or potential partnership? Should I say not merger, partnership?
Before I even get to dealing with the possibilities of what is executable between New Japan and WWE, I look at this and I say Kanos has dropped the ball, because Kanos had the inside track for New Japan and was supposed to have locked that up when this whole forbidden door talk started. As soon as they swapped out presidents, that was Kanos's green light to lock up a deal on paper.
You had a critical angle with a belt that's owned by one of your figureheads of your company. And he is the champion for New Japan. He is the United States champion, the IWGP United States champion, who does not even bring that belt to AEW television. And you had an angle in which he shows up in Japan and his opponent shows up on AEW television. And this is 2 months ago.
Right.
And now you have a news story in which that company may do a talent trade with WWE.
Exclusive U.S. partnership.
So
exclusive meaning you can't be out here fucking around. We is monogamous.
So we just have to stomach the fact that even though no one really sees the title defenses for Jon Moxley north of the one that happened on AEW Dynamite.
True.
We got to stomach the fact that Jon Moxley is now going to be forced to either be stripped or drop the U.S. title.
Or
that was going to be the next
shocking turn of events. Or in a shocking turn of events, fight somebody from the WWE in New Japan.
That part. Because you're the champion. You're the champion. You're the champion, and we have this exclusive U.S. partnership, and you're the U.S. champion.
That's
I can get an
idea.
Out of Dean Moxley will return to WWE television.
Fight whoever I want him to.
Find Jon Moxley on on Peacock on the WWE channel. Find Jon Moxley anywhere.
It's either Dean Moxley or John Ambrose.
Jonathan Dean Ambrose Moxley. Like, he will be on the TV because that's what's going to happen.
Jonathan, good job, pal.
Right. Such good shit.
He's a former WWE champion, multi-time. Not going to tell you which champion. One of the greatest factions in the history of WWE. What faction was Jon Moxley in? Can't tell you that.
No, they'll get by with the old joint. Jon Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose. They'll talk about Dean Ambrose and not Jon Moxley.
If that's not a Michael Cole.
Yeah, Dean Ambrose was Moxley's gentleman with the cure fit. Like, wait, what?
During his time in WWE as Dean Ambrose,
they're gonna highlight the hell out of that because this is how you. Once again, I live a life in which I say the following: you're going to do what I want you to do, one way or the other. And I have a feeling that Vincent Kennedy McMahon lives the same way. They got to do it. I got to hurt you. I got to come in where you thought you were having fun, and I got to lock that up. Ain't no territories, bitch. Ain't none.
Look. What's go-to has been the professional difference between a truth and the lie is a lawsuit. I have always told you, don't stop me when your feelings are hurt. Stop me when I start lying. Now we have a new phrase that pays. The difference between a deal and an idea is paperwork.
And a check.
Kanos did not secure the paperwork for the Baggington Securitas, and now you're in a bidding war.
This is not even a bidding war. You're not finna get no.
Petty, how many more appearances do you have with us?
2.
This is
the equivalent of you burning through both of those appearances, and we calling you and asking you if you're going to hop on this episode for Survivor Series, and you tell
I'm
us,
in SWE with my own podcast,
and you tell us you have signed a deal with SWE, and we go and watch this stuff, and now we got to pay for tickets because your punk ass done signed a contract. What the hell are we doing? Yo, I'm gonna take
what happened.
Let me take it back real quick.
This is letting CM Punk win the title as his contract expires.
Bro, putting it in the refrigerator next to the beer. What?
You're completed. Like, Kanos dropped the ball here. Like, come on, bro. If your whole angle has been Forbidden Door and you're working with all these different promotions, you got this going on with Impact, you're sprinkling over here in NWA, you're gonna have something going on once the world opens up with New Japan. We're not doing handshake deals, fam. Your bag's supposed to be longer than Vince's, even with all these different content sales that are going on from WWE. Your bag is naturally longer. You were supposed to lock this up a long time ago.
This is why you lock the screen.
Territories, big.
This is why you lock the screen door at Big Mama house while you knocking down your wife while she going to the grocery store.
Goodness. Wait, say that again.
That was deep. Say that one more time for
one more time.
This is why you lock the screen door at Big Mama house while you knocking down your wife and she done went to the grocery store.
Yes.
You don't want Big Mama walking in and seeing that.
Ass. That's the
You having sex at her house. You don't live there. You're a visitor.
Don't nobody do none of that in this house except for grandma.
Ain't nobody strolling in here but me.
Let me take you back real quick. We're gonna go back to the year 1985.
Uh-oh.
Suave, you remember a little event called Super Clash?
I was not old enough to remember any of that.
Well, I mean, you've heard of it. You've heard the lore.
I've grown to know what that is.
Petty, you familiar with Super Clash?
I was 4.
Super Clash was an event that was put on by the AWA that also included the IWA, the NWA, and World Class.
Nice.
No.
It sounds good on paper.
In theory, this should work.
Yeah, in theory, this should be fire.
However, on the same card, you have people like Mills Mascaras versus Buddy Roberts, Ric Flair versus Magnum TA for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, Stan Hansen versus Rick Martel for the AWA World Championship, Kerry Von Erich versus Jimmy Garvin for the World Class Texas Championship. All this on the same card, right?
Yeah, that's a good card.
Here's the problem. The reason why you didn't have things like Ric Flair versus Rick Martel is because there was no way Jim Crockett and Vern Gagne were going to come to a decision on who was actually going to win the damn match.
Dusty finishes all around.
We're talking the 2 largest wrestling promotions in the world. No question about it. When you're talking about gates, AEW can't even come close to talking about the conversation of gates between New Japan and themselves. The only other people that can come into that conversation would be WWE, simply because Japan has the Tokyo Dome, and even if they do 30,000 people, they've made as much as some WrestleManias have. Am I lying here?
Japan.
Yeah.
Preach on.
Konnichiwa.
So that said, what makes us think that anybody of star power, Roman Reigns, would have the Japan pencil go against him?
No.
Give me we in the Internet Champions of Wrestling Facebook group, we're already starting fantasy booking between WWE and New Japan, and it's actually pretty fun. There's some good matches coming out of this.
We should drop a couple of those after we finish this conversation.
Well, I mean, this is part of the conversation. This is part of the conversation. So let's run through them. Give me a match that you want to see in New Japan with featuring WWE talent. Mind you, it has to happen in Japan.
As happened in Japan.
And this is only because of what I've seen so far. Nothing is stating that these talents are coming to the States. So for the sake of this conversation only, until further notice,
champion versus champion. Roman Reigns versus Jon Moxley.
So we're talking the WWE Universal Champion, the Tribal Chief, versus the New Japan IWGP United States Champion.
Yep.
And technically, that's 100% possible.
In this scenario, you would think that the Universal Champion should go over Jon Moxley. But do you,
he would.
But he's
not gonna have a belt.
Do you think that in your heart of hearts that Vince is going to be okay with anyone in New Japan writing the script for Moxley to go over?
He's just gonna get jumped by his cousins. That's your finish.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have to win clean. He just has to win.
Okay.
He won't get pinned, but Tama and Tongaloa getting on that ass. Pause.
Speaking of,
or you'll get the bloodline in its full capacity, as Tama is hinting you.
Well,
one way or the other.
As it sits right now, Tama Tonga is already trolling on Instagram, inviting people to see the match between the Bloodline and the Bullet Club.
So is Drew McIntyre,
who is also trolling
really
hard.
Drew trying to get in Okada.
He did Okada.
He wants Okada.
On Friday, Kofi.
Now,
dude, what? Did you write a haiku?
Yeah, he did.
Okada is probably the most pivotal New Japan champion that they've seen in the last 10 years. Do you think that you're actually going to get a clean finish with Okada over Drew McIntyre if Vince McMahon has any say so?
Yeah, Drew doesn't have a belt on him, so yeah, I can see that.
You think Vince will play ball like that?
Only if you get somebody on a really high level, this will be my next submission. Seth Rollins versus On the Spray, and Seth go over On the Spray. So
Seth
basically,
definitely going over him.
Yeah, you've had a top guy take an L to Okada, but then you have New Japan's champion take an L to Seth Rollins.
Side note,
which makes sense.
Side note, here's interesting. I don't know if y'all caught wind of this one. There's a
segue. I swear, yeah.
There's a rumor floating around that On the Spray isn't legitimately hurt, and the reason why he's off TV and or stripped of the IWGP Heavyweight title, other than the fact it looks like the Divas Championship.
Stop it!
Don't do that. Don't be that disrespectful.
That's disrespectful. Like, have some cool.
Is the
Jesus,
fact
man.
That he's
we need
about
press
to
passes for New Japan stuff. Are you gonna start saying stuff like this?
No, I'm not.
The Japanese are a shrewd business group of people.
Look.
So hold on.
If I can get any of them to go, Petty Messiah, Strongzy, I'll be all right.
Okay. So they're saying that he's possibly about to sign with NXT UK.
Okay.
So from what I read, it was like he's hurt, but not so hurt that he needed to vacate the title and take a leave of absence. But I guess the whole thing is like he's not, air quotes, happy with what's going on, and NXT UK would actually bring him back home and probably give him,
a championship and a long title reign,
comparable if not superior money.
I mean,
the NXT rookie bag, definitely. He's
technically not a rookie.
If he's in NXT UK, ain't no rookie talk. He's gonna be
no. I'm saying the rookie bag, but he got the same thing Karrion got then. 9 times out of 10.
He gonna get more than Karrion.
I really wish we had those WWE salary listed the same way we had the WCW joints listed, man. That'd be
a conversation. My God.
They're never gonna do that because there's some people that's not getting paid enough that don't need to know what the person next to them getting paid.
They're to be surprised. Man. The difference is it's a publicly traded company. I mean, that I'm sure it's accessible. I just
fuck all that, son. Show me them books.
Right?
Are you cooking?
I'm a shareholder.
Who else do we have? You know me. I want to see some punishment. Who are we gonna put up against Tomohiro Ishii?
A body?
Yeah, you're just gonna put a body out there.
Somebody he can throw.
Yeah, like WWE doesn't even have performers like that anymore. Were you gonna do Shinsuke just for the fact
somebody
that he's strong style?
Nah, man.
No.
You no.
They'll fight forever.
Yeah, you don't have people like that. Like Ishii is an anomaly when it comes to trying to pair him up with somebody on WWE's roster. It would have been Samoa Joe.
It would have been Samoa Joe.
You might win a Collision in Korea, Samoa Joe a contract for that match.
Famo.
Hey, I tell you what I would love to see though. I would love to see Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar break out a New Japan shirt.
Okay. I'd like to see that in Japan. That'd be super dope. Give me Usos versus Gorillas of Destiny.
Man,
I'm not. No. No.
Taka's already asking for it. And speaking of, if we gonna go that route with
Like they
Club,
fighting in the backyard.
How about Bad Luck Fale versus Braun Strowman?
You said what?
Bad Luck Fale versus Braun Strowman.
I'll take it.
Fale might try to dig an eyeball out.
Yeah, but I'll take it. I mean, it's not like Braun can't fight. We seen Braun duff Brock one good time.
He hit Brock one good time and almost got turned for a loop. Strowman almost got a shut-off notice on his lights messing with Brock.
I thought that man was going KO. I thought the dude from Street Fighter was going to come out.
Going to throw a stiff-ass knee at Brock Lesnar. Like, are you serious right now?
Brock got up and rocked him.
I will never forget it. Like, he came with that right cross like, bitch, what's happening?
Rock him, sock him. They was going to have to come break that up. They like, hey,
here, ho.
Y'all are two. Look, y'all in the top 5 biggest people here. Stop.
You're just going to let him finish. That's you're going to break that up.
Yeah, I know. Brock was going to take that boy to the ground and hit him with the ground pound.
Split his coconut like Randy Orton.
I don't know what Randy did to Brock to make him split his head open to the white meat.
Part of me wants to believe that was predetermined, but I mean,
it's funny. It's funny to see the scar across the top of Orton's head now.
I mean, that was straight. That was 12-6 action, man. Like that's what you don't do. That's how you get DQ'd from. That's how Bones Jones got DQ'd in the UFC.
Fuck, right to the top of the dome. Like that. Stop.
Hey man.
Hey man.
Hey man.
Hey man.
Hey guy. Hey buddy.
Hey buddy. That's the one right there.
You gonna mess around.
You gonna find out.
I tried to tell you.
It's a cold lick, ain't it?
Man, let's see who else can we come up with on this?
So we were trying to find somebody for Tomohiro, but there's nobody.
Nah,
because
it would have been Joe, and I don't think we have anybody else that really
can get out there and scrap with him.
Yeah, nobody else really occupies that space. Maybe MVP if he's healthy. Only because he's a veteran of being in Japan. He's
right.
The first.
Let Bronson fight him.
The first U.S. champion. No, I'm sorry. No, he was the first Intercontinental champion.
Yeah.
Let Bronson fight him.
Tommaso Ciampa's too. I don't want to say he's too small, but yeah, he is.
How about Ciampa versus Kenta?
Who versus Kenta?
Tommaso Ciampa versus Kenta.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Or Gargano. I'll take either of those.
Yeah, either one.
Just whatever you do, don't let Swerve and them ne'er-do-wells he's running around with.
I was actually thinking Swerve versus Kenta just because of the size comparison.
I'm so tired of Hit Row. If you thought I didn't like state property, chain game, blah, blah, editing myself because Wood says I can't call him what I call him offline.
Because you just can't. But you can type with the Suave so we can get his reaction though. but these are words that we can't. Roll.
You heard of NWA, right?
Uh-huh.
No, sir.
Send it to the group text. Group text. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, right. There you go. You heard NWA. Right?
Y'all got a quiet cancel campaign on me now. Not like the likes of this one, brother.
We have done too much as a podcast, record label, and a motherfucking crew to be throwing it all away.
For saying what?
For these snide insults.
You have got me totally completely screwed up. There it is.
Slopped up, not chopped up. Chopped up, not slopped up.
So the whole thing is, y'all made me forget what the initial point was.
Here's the thing.
Swab, check your spread, bro. That's right there.
That's what they're called. But I just I don't feel like Swerve and Hit. I dislike Hit Row more than I dislike them.
Jeez.
And I was just like, every time they come on screen, I'm just like, this is stupid. Like the talent on the screen is not stupid. It's the gimmick that's stupid.
Listen, I had AJ Francis earmarked for greatness prior to that shit.
I still got AJ Francis earmarked for greatness.
Give me Dolph
I just don't want to hear him scream out. Go ahead.
Dolph Ziggler versus Jay White.
Give me Dolph Ziggler versus anybody.
Dolph Ziggler versus Tomohiro Ishii?
Nope.
Oh no.
You don't want that?
No.
I don't want Dolph Ziggler to die.
that chest will cave in. He's close to 40, fam.
Fam, do you realize
Shelton
getting
Benjamin
in the ring
versus Tomohiro Ishii?
Nope.
Nah, bro.
You realize getting in the ring with Tomohiro Ishii is like, taking your life into your own hands, literally.
Tomohiro Ishii is an extreme wrestler minus the chairs and the chains.
You could die.
I like the fact that he can wrestle.
The man, his name is the Stone Pitbull.
You see him Rush Hour 1? She dies if I press this button.
I forgot all about that.
So we keep forgetting about the John Cena of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi. I
don't really know who would fight him.
I mean, you can put anybody, like you can put Rollins.
I don't want to take my dream match of having Mox and Reigns fight just to piss Vince off.
Rollins would be great for Tanahashi. If you really want to keep it a buck, you can bring back John Cena for Tanahashi because that's what people want to see anyway. The comparisons have been there.
All right, cool. So who getting Naito?
Who? Naito. Who would? I'm not mad at Tommaso Ciampa for Naito. Man, like if Big E were about 50 pounds lighter, that would be perfect.
That's who you can give to Tomohiro Ishii.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we got action. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
This is what happens when WWE misuses stars for this long. You got to pull up a roster or just randomly think of people.
So who are you gonna put in the ring against Apollo Crews?
Nobody.
I ain't gonna say that.
Just let the New Day have their own segment on the show.
Hey, him in Japan is a really good idea.
On the real though, you could put I don't want to call him Aziz, but
Jeff Cobb.
Ooh, Jeff Cobb versus Big E.
Versus
Jeff Cobb versus who?
Big E.
Big E? Yeah, I'll take that one too.
I'll say Jeff Cobb versus he just won the North American title. Bronson Reed. Yeah.
Just because they both wear singlets doesn't mean they need to be in a match.
They literally are the same person. You can't convince me otherwise.
No.
They're the same guy.
No, they are not.
I mean,
Jeff Cobb is Rhino, like ECW 2000.
Bronson Reed is also Rhino.
No.
He's not gonna change my mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna buzz you on that one.
Yeah, I'm not doing that one. I
put them next to each other and tell me you can tell them apart.
I absolutely can.
So we have to have a comedy match here.
Nope.
Yeah,
no, we don't.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Leave that WWE style booking shit in America where it plays.
No.
We didn't do that for this.
We ain't here for no comedy shit.
You get out of here right now.
Is you gonna mess around book Roppongi 3000 versus the Street Profits? I don't see that.
Hell's wrong with you? I definitely don't want to see
that. We ain't here for that. We don't want no comedy.
Who do we put in the ring versus Yano?
Laughing and joking.
Yano. Who do we put in the ring versus Yano?
Who?
Yano.
Bull Nakano.
Who? Bruh. Really? Fucking Yano.
Against who?
You tell me. We're booking the match.
I thought you said the match.
No,
you just screamed out Yano to get us off your ass.
No more comedy, Randis. Yeah. All right, hold on. Let me do my Googles.
I want to find out. Yeah,
you can do R-Truth.
Actually, that was.
You know what I'm saying?
You say R-Truth?
Why are you throwing R-Truth out of there?
Y'all obviously don't know about Yano.
Toru?
I'm not quite as well versed with Yano.
Yeah, Yano is
educate me.
That's
is
why
he like Japanese Colt Cabana or something?
He's fodder. He's fodder for New Japan, but he's very.
He's exactly what I just said.
Okay, him and Otis can get down.
There you go. That's a good match. See,
Actually,
how hard
Otis
was
could
that?
technically fight Tomohiro Ishii.
Yeah, but we ain't booking him like that.
Nah, he don't deserve it.
Because if you send him to Japan over there serious, you're gonna have to treat him that way when he come back.
Because he need to fight Brock as soon as he get back.
That part. I want Lesnar as soon as I touch down.
As soon as I touch down. I came back from the land of the rising sun with a new mindset. Put his hair in a bun. Let him not be stupid. Let him get right in the camera and talk.
I'm giving
Take up the whole screen.
Let's go with two more. Switchblade Jay White.
I thought you already booked Jay White.
Did we?
That was Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler. Okay. How about
Aleister Black and Kota Ibushi.
that's the
There you
name.
go.
I was actually going to say Ibushi, so there we go. That's perfect. So, but again, these all have to happen in Japan, because if they happen over here, they ain't worth the shit.
I mean,
I don't think that's necessarily true.
nobody's getting swept in Japan either. The booking is better in Japan, but nobody's getting swept. We're not finna have a Survivor Series 2018 where it's like 6-1 Raw to SmackDown.
Leave it to Wood. It's gonna come out like best of the best. Somebody gonna get hit with the ridge hand, and WWE is gonna win the whole thing.
Nah. So that's my take on the thing, though, is the fact that as long as Vince is in control, he's not going to want to see his people go down, a la the Invasion. Now, mind you, here's a segue. The WCW Invasion is 20 years old, and Suave said this numerous times. All we had to do was wait 6 months for the Invasion angle.
Because when you look at the timeline, they did that rushing. They put WCW stars in the air quotes skybox for WrestleMania 17. By the time you get to 18, half of the people you were waiting on were in WWE.
And
a year later, all of them were there.
And not even mentioning WCW when it happened. Meanwhile, your star people in this Invasion angle for WCW is Booker T.
Booker T and Diamond Dallas Page.
Basically.
That's it. And then you
Booker T came in strong. I ain't gonna lie. The night he came in and threw, I think he threw Stone Cold through the table
and broke his back.
I was like, okay, hey,
like dead ass hurt the golden goose of the company on night one. Of course, it was an accident, but it's like,
Meanwhile, here we are with people like Nick Patrick, Mark Jindrak and Sean O'Hare, Chuck Palumbo.
Hey. We're not gonna talk bad about Sean O'Hare.
No one's talking bad about him.
No,
we're talking about star power.
Like, so from a star power standpoint, they had a lot of natural born thrillers.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm super good. Rest in peace, Sean
and that
O'Hare,
was
by
it.
the way.
That was it. So, what is it? Sean Stasiak?
Yeah, who had previously been in WWE before becoming a natural born thriller.
I was like, what the fuck?
Like,
I don't care about any of these people.
Like, literally, this happened the week leading into WrestleMania 17. By 18, the NWO's there, Flair's there,
Goldberg's
on his way,
and good occupied too. All these folks come in occupied.
Scott Steiner's there by Survivor Series of that same year,
introducing people to how he does math.
I'm just saying, all you had to do was wait.
Just a year, just 6 months.
Just
6
wait.
Months. So, Suave, who would you, if you got that 6 month window, who would you book to be the figureheads for the Invasion?
You could have left it with Shane. I mean, Shane, the premise of Shane buying WCW to compete with his father, I like that.
Talent wise, not as an executive, because I like Shane too. That was a really dope angle, but it was just poorly executed. But we're talking about talent wise.
All you needed was WWE's Mount Rushmore of current talent versus WCW's Mount Rushmore. So you'd have had on WWE side, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Triple H, The Undertaker, and who do you want to have as a fifth?
Didn't Triple H get hurt?
You could have played back and forth with the fact which side is Hogan gonna take.
Hogan also, and if you really want to continue with the rocket that was strapped to the back, you could play Jericho that way too, because Jericho played both sides of the fence lovely.
I would play Jericho before I would play Hogan.
Hogan's the bigger name, but both of those you could use the same idea with.
Historical impact right now definitely goes in favor of Jericho. Definitely.
Yeah, because Jericho's the wild card. Like, he's here, he's been eating, people love him, but this is squad. This is where he came from.
But,
you see what I'm saying?
But good try Terry is, like we were saying, with mixing the cement that became the foundation. That's good try Terry.
Yes.
True.
So he's gonna be red and yellow WWF forever. Now he re-upped and got a bigger bag being Hollywood Hogan, but I mean he's WWF fabric. So you could be that fifth spot for him in a Survivor Series situation, or who else was current talent at that time that made sense? Like you had Mankind could have played that role. I think he was already retired though.
You already had the Radicals that already came over.
Yeah, the Radical. None of those were gonna be involved.
No, they'd
have been like undercard stuff.
Well, Eddie easily was the standout. When he came to the E, his personality came out in droves.
Factual, but
Eddie had already changed his attitude and mindset before he left WCW.
Right.
You remember when I think he got hurt or something, and then he came back and he was swole up.
Well, yeah.
When you're looking at Mount Rushmore versus Mount Rushmore,
yeah, I guess you got a point.
Best,
yeah,
the top of the top. You can build the rest of the card fine.
So
who was
T,
Mount Rushmore? Yeah, Booker T,
Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. Well, no.
Flair wasn't on that Mount Rushmore. Not
so Booker
time.
T, Hulk Hogan, Sting is still at the house.
Was.
And at the end of and for the invasion,
Flair is NWA/WCW.
Okay, so you're saying all time. I thought you were talking about like for that particular time frame when WCW shut its doors, because Flair was wrestling in the damn T-shirt.
I mean, but still, Flair's still able to work. Or Flair can be
more just because he was out of shape.
He can get in shape. He ended up fighting McMahon. He wasn't in horrible shape.
I mean,
he fought Shawn Michaels and he was kind of in a shape.
That's like 5 years.
Flair had a hardcore match
like,
with Mick Foley in Impact or in TNA in 2010. So yeah, I mean, I get it.
And we're talking about 2002,
right?
So he'd have been able to pull that off.
Yeah, he was still flopping off the top rope.
Flair, Sting's
not coming.
Buyout.
Yeah,
I'll buy the rest of it.
You get the bag. Sting was already collecting the hell of a bag anyway. You give him all the bag.
Well, that's the case. Then we buy out Goldberg.
Exactly, he'd be there.
Okay.
You buy out Goldberg and probably both outsiders.
Ooh.
So Big Sexy, Scott Hall, Hogan, Sting, Flair, Booker T. Who else?
And sadly, Booker T's the low man on the totem pole, even though he's the champion, just because all the star power around him.
If you have Hogan pick the WWF side, then I'll go with Booker T over there. So both outsiders, Hall and Nash, Sting, Page.
Oh, Goldberg, Page. That's 8 people.
And then you put Flair at ringside as the heater.
Okay, so there's 7 people.
Since he's still in a T-shirt.
Yeah, that's 7 people. You put Flair as a mouthpiece.
And so Hall, Nash, Page, Goldberg,
3,
and Booker T.
4.
That's 5.
Booker T, that's 5. Hogan.
I'm putting Hogan on the other Mount Rushmore. Like he'll decide to defect.
Okay.
Or what if he turns mid-match and does something for the
He pulls a Toronto.
Basically.
He pulls a Toronto. Like mid-match, him and the Rock. Hogan became I was like, wait a minute.
Kind of the same way. Who turned at the end of the actual invasion match? Was it Jericho or was it somebody else? Or Kurt Angle?
Austin.
I think it was Angle.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think Austin was already there too.
No, yeah, Austin ended up on the other side?
He's on the WCW side.
Yeah.
So that was the dumbest thing ever. Like, at no point during this invasion,
because you're scavenging for star power, so you don't have enough names. But if you had access to everybody, or you bought everybody out, which WWE had just gone public, so you had the money, buy these people out of their contract because you finna make it back on one pay-per-view.
Right on. Because everybody who ever watched either channel is watching one at this particular pay-per-view. This might have been the biggest.
Then you build the rest of the undercard the way you did. So you have your Jeff Hardy's versus RVD.
Scott RVD.
Yeah.
Or
I think they did some type of it wasn't a ladder match first, but yeah. Then you get your Yoshihiro Tajiri's versus Rey Mysterio or Psychosis or whoever, like some type of cruiserweight. Like you could build a whole card with the mid card and semi-main event guys.
That is an 8-hour WrestleMania.
You feel me?
That is an 8-hour. That is a work shift WrestleMania right there.
So, okay, imagine you went from 17 to 18 with this build, and 18 was literally WWE versus WCW from top to bottom.
Well, don't forget ECW was already there too.
You said what?
ECW was already there too. ECW folded in April of 2001.
And you can get to sprinkle them in as well instead of trying to force it, because now you have to bring in ECW talent just to have more names.
Because you had, you already had the Dudleys there. Rhino was there.
You got Mike Awesome, Rhino, the Dudleys.
And Taz, Rob Van Dam.
And you already know
Tajiri, if Tajiri defects.
Tajiri was out. Yeah, he was there. He was a cruiserweight.
Yep.
You got Stone Cold. Can go either way.
I would have left him WWE. I would have never turned him heel either.
Yeah, that's the thing. Stone Cold should have been, as soon as that glass break, business was about to pick up. Thanks, JR. So you got Spike. I don't think it's gonna count much, but it's gonna definitely make for TV, getting him launched into the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
As who else?
I finally got Stone Cold versus Sandman off at some point.
At some point,
I'd have been able to do a whole year worth of this shit.
It would, yeah.
Backwards too, like the old school way. If you book from the year before and the year after, and go to the current time.
So booking from 18 to 17, you end 17 with somebody has to pull the Scott Hall, Kevin Nash thing the night the Raw after Mania. Somebody from WCW has to walk up and just bitch slap somebody, and I don't know who it is. I don't know who would be the most impactful, or if Booker T is the warning salvo.
Steiner
would have been good, but
Scott Steiner slapping the shit out of somebody is so believable that I'm surprised it didn't happen.
But
epically believable, like Triple H. It kind of happened that way.
Booker T reminded me of a guy who got the job, but was always trying to prove himself to be better. I think it would have benefited him to walk up and cold cock the shit out of somebody a la
The Rock,
a la Kane and Cole in '94.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all. Just it took them 5 years to put Booker T in the main event situation. So I don't know if they were going to do that on night one.
I mean, he left in the main event situation. He had 2 belts.
Totally agree. I agree 100%.
Had 2 belts when he left. You know what I'm saying?
And everybody forgot that.
He had 2 belts.
Everybody forgot that.
100% with everything that you're saying. But history showed us the guys in Stanford didn't give a fuck.
They did not. So so Steiner makes the most sense. And Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump is your hookup. Holla if you hear me. That going off at the end of Mania.
And you know who I would have cashed out to make sure hit TV?
Who? Goldberg?
Nope. Who's the one guy missing who was missing from the invasion who paid royally to come in for ECW?
For ECW?
Yes, our guy. All I need to hear was Natural Born Killers play one time. Just drop out for the money. Just drop the money out on Dr. Dre. We'll make this happen.
Remember when the
who would he run out on?
It don't matter. Nobody.
There's a hardcore. Okay, there's a hardcore champion.
Think about this.
Foley.
There you go. That's
all you have to do is just play the music and have him show his head and fade to black. He never has to show up again. You know who did that to perfection? Jake Roberts. Back about 2000, I want to say 2011, 2012, he came out on the Legends edition of Monday Night Raw at the very end. This is part of the Diamond Dallas Page thing as far as like the documentary. This was his culminating point because he wanted to show up for the Royal Rumble that year, and because he had surgery, he couldn't do it. So the best thing that he could get was an appearance on Monday Night Raw. He came out with Damien, and that was the end. He basically came out, played his music, came out in the snake pants, showed Damien, held Damien up, walked off, and that was fade to black. That was it. That was the moment. I don't even think he DDT'd anybody. That was
we don't want that. I need New Jack diving out the balcony. Hell you mean?
Bombs away.
Straight up.
Just pull up in a production truck and jump off the top of that.
I want all the gangster shit. I want every last bit of it. I'm dropping out the bag. I'm sorry. Go ahead, put that money on him and go him in here. Let's get this money.
I mean, but now you got to keep doing it until somebody takes New Jack down, because New Jack is gonna fight Mick Foley until the end of time.
Great. give me one really good
Hell in the Cell
death match. It ain't got to be Hell in the Cell. Just give me one.
I want him in the cell though.
You know who I want?
I want him in the cell.
I want
Falls Count anywhere, so we got some shit to dive off of.
You know,
in the back.
There's only one person stupid enough to go against Jack in that kind of match, and it's not Mick Foley.
Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
Super death killer.
3,000.
I'll jump off of it. I'll jump off of that.
He getting fucked off that night though.
I'll jump off of that. Yeah, no, he definitely gonna. Shane left eye gonna be gone.
Vacuum cleaner to the testicles.
And they would have to pipe in New Jack saying bombs away. That's all they had. They had to pipe that in just for dramatic effect.
I don't doubt that they would.
Yeah, it just had you waited just that hot 6 months, or even just drag it out for a year, and literally have a WCW versus WWE WrestleMania or SummerSlam or Royal Rumble, whichever one you want to pick, it would have been epic. All you had to do was wait. You own the company. There's no need to rush.
Moonwalk it.
You have the biggest stars in wrestling at the time. You have Triple H, you have The Rock, you have Stone Cold Steve Austin, you have The Undertaker, you have Kane. You are not starved for star power. You have the ability to wait.
And if you really want to drop a bag and turn ahead, that's when you bring back Shawn Michaels.
Ooh.
Who also returned by Survivor Series of 2002.
Makes sense.
See what I'm saying?
You bastards.
Gangsta Grillz, you bastards.
So you have him do a run in at the last minute and just super kick the living hell out of somebody.
Or just show up. Again.
Who gets the HBK match from WCW? That's the question.
Flair still gets the match.
I don't think Flair, not that early. Not that early. You have to build. That's a WrestleMania match.
Not T-shirt Flair. T-shirt Flair been sitting at the house.
Yeah.
It's a T-shirt.
Yeah, T-shirt Flair can't get this. And then Sting is earmarked for The Undertaker.
Sting is earmarked for The Undertaker, and honestly, it can't be a Mania. It can't be a Mania.
Maybe there's your WCW heater. You put Shawn Michaels with WCW because he never went. And there you got a feud with Triple H.
And he joins with the Clique. With the other half of the Clique, aka NWO. You know what?
Well, in that case, that means that Triple H needs to defect. Because there's no way you're going to see all three of them.
No, you got to remember.
You got to build to that, though.
When Shawn Michaels left, the next night on Raw is when Triple H basically said, Shawn Michaels is out of here. Like, he couldn't take the heat, so he got the hell out the kitchen. So that feud continues instantly with that heat.
As soon as you come back. I've been out for 4 years, and I've been waiting to do one thing and one thing only.
Bow! Super kick.
And he can basically say the WWE used me up and threw me away when I got hurt. So now I want to burn this place to the ground. And we're off to the races. Come on, somebody give me some damn money. I'll show you how to
come on, booking.
Fix this shit, booking. Rich.
Right. Fix it.
Man.
I don't think there's anything that could be done differently, but a full year worth of booking. What you got? 12 pay-per-views? Because back then we didn't skip. They had one every month.
Every month.
You got 12 shots at the Dome.
You could have spent that whole 1 year planning what this was going to go like. You could have booked it all and then executed, but you had to rush.
It could look like a Scantron. Debut, defection, debut, defection, debut. Like, you could have literally walked that dog the entire year back and forth.
And Raw was only 2 hours in?
Yep. You didn't even have a 3-hour Raw.
We didn't have a 3-hour Raw. That's what's so great about it. They were fitting in all these people in a 2-hour block.
And you didn't see everybody every week.
Was it a 1-hour SmackDown or a 2?
No, it was 2 hours. No, that's right. The original SmackDown was 1 hour.
Was 7 to 9, wasn't it?
The original SmackDown was 1 hour, then expanded to 2.
When it went live is when it went to 2 hours. But the original version was taped that on Tuesdays, or we saw on Fridays, was an hour.
Okay.
The UPN days.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, come on, UPN. Come on, UPN.
Shawn Michaels super kicking the Rock in biker shorts.
Right. In a tied up t-shirt.
See, we could have finally got that match too. Shawn Michaels versus The Rock.
That's crazy that we never got that match.
Oh, there's a reason for it. There's some underlying factors that led to that.
Are these warrior style factors?
Or are we gonna hold this for another show?
Wait, you heard my question. Are these warrior style factors?
Not quite, maybe a little bit, but I would rather have the full story than to just speculate, and I gotta do my Googles.
Table it. Okay. Uh-oh.
A lot of people.
According to PW Insider, the biggest issue preventing WWE and New Japan Alliance is New Japan wanting Daniel Bryan to work for New Japan dates.
Uh-oh.
Talk has been going on for several months, and the main crux is the potential of Daniel Bryan being able to go to Japan and work over there. How weird is it that Daniel Bryan will try to work with everyone except for WWE without leaving WWE? Bro, let him go. Keep the bag. Let him go.
Let that man go fight over there and punch people in the face. At this point, he can't fight on SmackDown because you somehow stupidly wrote him off SmackDown. And he's not going to fight on Raw because you're not going to let him fight Bobby. So what's the purpose?
I really hope
whatever gets it done at this point. I don't care. Just I don't care how you figure it out. Just figure it out.
Right. You guys can figure this out.
I'm sick of negotiating with y'all. Figure it out. Fix this shit, Rich.
Right. Fix it.
With your bitch ass.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to play games with you about this. Just if Daniel wants to go to New Japan and you guys want to have a relationship with New Japan, as a show of good faith, let that man go do what he gonna do. Let him compete in the G1.
G1?
Man.
Let him fight.
You bet.
That's all he want to do.
That's it. He just wants to wrestle away from you guys. That's it.
I mean,
if you love something, let it go.
I would get tired of carrying matches with everybody around me at a certain point. And that's what he's doing. He's carrying every match around him at all times.
I mean, maybe he just wants 40 minutes with somebody and, feel some real strikes. He wants to work strong style. Just stay away from my head.
My neck, too.
Yeah, leave my head and neck alone. I want to see Daniel Bryan versus Okada. I mean...
Dude, cool. strong style sounds like it'll kill you if you don't master it.
You can't DDT a man on concrete.
you kill him.
What's your finish, kid?
I'll move.
All
right. That is the one right there. Like you don't need this. This is unnecessary. But strong style looks really great. When you see the execution of it, it looks amazing.
Mm-hmm. Till you crack your skull giving out headbutts.
Yeah. Then Tomohiro Ishii throws you out of the ring through the ring post. Now you just at the house.
Mm-hmm. He headbutts you in your chest and you got an irregular heartbeat for a day or two.
Your heartbeat sound like the beginning of a Master Ace song.
Sound like Manny Fresh freestyling on the MP3.
Like, what is this? This is it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If your heartbeat sound like that, stop wrestling.
If your heartbeat
you'd be surprised
like
how many people's heartbeats don't
seek
sound
medical,
like that.
Seek medical attention immediately.
Get out the ring and run for your life. This is it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If your heartbeat don't
Better
sound
yet,
like that,
yeah.
you got clean piss.
God, that's ridiculous.
All right, y'all. So
What is the Tego Calderon?
What is happening?
breaking news. People done got fired in this bitch.
What in the Bad Bunny is happening right now?
I don't know. Turn that off.
Yeah, cut that off. Cut it.
I just had to
Cut that off. If you want it in there, put it in there and post it. Cut it off.
You got you.
I'm saucing
It's
that.
all white noise.
Saucing that right now. All right.
It's all white. No, it sounds like Sheamus.
Wow. Really wow.
That's one of his moves. It's not a racial slur.
We get it.
I know,
It's a bad
It's
racial
a shameful thing.
You shouldn't have to explain your jokes. All right, so
Wind up dead.
Say, first and foremost, there was a point in time where Sheamus was that dude.
Facts.
yeah, until he beat
when I
Daniel
say
Bryan in
over-
18 seconds.
You said what?
Until he beat Daniel Bryan in 18 seconds. That's when it ended for
He
him.
was supposed to.
Man, that's not his fault. He's just following instructions.
That's when it ended for him. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's
From
his
a
fault.
moveset standpoint, from a mic standpoint, I see why people were high on Sheamus. Like Sheamus he got the whole package.
I mean, remember
And what did we do? Squander it.
Remember when he beat or broke Jamie Noble's back, quote unquote, on Monday Night Raw?
Jamie Noble, boy. Yeah.
And Jamie Noble was crying.
Yeah, I remember. I felt that was one of the first times I ever felt bad for a wrestler that I shouldn't have cared about. It's Jamie Noble. You a jobber to the stars. Like
Sheamus is the equivalent of taking the all-world left tackle at pick number 3. It's not sexy, but it set up your franchise for the rest, next 20 years.
That was
Next 20 years.
Kristaps Porzingis to the Knicks. That's exactly what that was.
Don't do that because he's on such shaky ground in this league right now.
We're talking. You're
like
talking.
He is basically Sean Bradley until further notice.
Y'all are talking now.
Damn.
I'm talking about the draft because Kristaps looked like a hero after he got drafted for the Knicks.
When you say that name, you can't say that name right now.
I like to say, I like to say respectfully, fuck what happened in New York because we ain't there.
Right.
Them
New
people
York
out there.
is the playoff.
You got fucking New York fans out there spitting on people in the middle of a pandemic. I don't give a fuck what they going through. I hope Trey drops 60 on their ass.
Yeah, that's trash.
Heavy.
That's happening in Boston too. They doing that shit in Boston too. That's what I don't understand. Like how, like we're still here. Like 100 years of Black Wall Street later, we're still doing this dumb shit. Like, come on, man. Like you can get dealt with these days.
Apparently, you don't appreciate being outside. So when this shit go back the other way, you earned it. You don't appreciate outside.
When part 2 hit,
you feel me?
Because part 2 gonna hit.
You feel me? When the sequel drop, all you motherfuckers done earned it.
So
lockdown soon come.
So
we outside. Half you motherfuckers ain't got a mask on. Some of you do, but you still wearing that bitch like a chin strap.
Out here and tried to get any type of vaccine. But they said people who are vaccinated can walk around without a mask, which is great if you got a vaccine. But you ain't got no vaccine.
Which between a lot of these extra dumb months is gonna cause a whole different. It's gonna cause a whole different argument because at some point they're gonna be like, well, how can we tell who does and who doesn't? Well, we have to start marketing these. We have to start marketing these people.
It's none of your motherfucking business.
Because it's the mark of the beast. Everybody who was raised in a Baptist church knows. Don't let
oh no!
If you've ever seen Half Baked, Naughty Jungle of Love, 666 Mark of the Beast,
Nasty Nate. No,
I love horses.
Butternuts.
But dead ass, like you spitting on people, like come on, bro.
Dude, stop.
You just spit on a pro athlete. You deserve
his job. Like his job is to play basketball. Like,
you gotta let me.
It's not to get spit on by you as a spectator.
But Steven Jackson and Ron Artest were the bad guys. Nah, that's not how this works, fam.
Like under normal circumstances, spitting.
Ron Artest in Indiana.
Straight up, malice in the palace. Because at this point, under normal circumstances, not in a pandemic, spitting on someone is grounds to get your ass sleepwalked. But now, I should be full Ken Shamrock. It's a pandemic. That's attempted murder. If we really played it like letter of the law,
it really is. It is biological. What is it?
Warfare.
Terrorism.
Yeah, it's chemical terrorism.
Chemical terrorism. It's a biological chemical terrorism moment because we don't know what you have, sir, ma'am.
I should be able to put my leather belt around your neck and drag your goof ass up and down the street.
Yo, let's run through these fireys real quick, man, because we still got to run through the AEW Double or Nothing shit. So
fucking Apollo Creed, living in America. In the hand,
nation to nation.
Okay, who done lost their job?
Braun Strowman has lost his job.
Sherry, I lost my job. Oh, bro.
Braun Strowman, Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy, Ruby Riott, Santana Garrett. Those have been
played by Miss Santana.
Dog said who?
Wait, Santana Garrett?
Someone who allegedly was on the way up to SmackDown this week, but on the way to SmackDown, they got handed some walking papers.
Oh,
from NXT?
Yeah.
River.
Yeah.
I really don't know who Santana Garrett is.
Yeah. So yeah, all of that.
It wasn't even in catering. Like, how you get fired on the plane?
No, read those names one more time because it sounds like we glossing over.
All right,
we don't need to gloss over. It's very important.
Yeah, like we're laughing and joking, but there are people who are unemployed right now.
I mean, they got money. They caked up.
Santana Garrett,
right?
Buddy Murphy.
Buddy
Murphy. Ruby Riott.
Ruby.
Lana. Braun Strowman. Those are Aleister Black, yes.
Yeah.
So 6 actually. So because I didn't name Alana earlier, but yeah. So those are the ones that have been let go as of Wednesday, June the 2nd. Yeval Lord.
I
say Yeval Lord. 2021.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
So we would have to think because we started seeing some lettings go last week as well. You would have to think that some of this has to do with them trying to free up budget to get back on the road. But it came out. I mean, we just found out also that Braun Strowman and Lana just signed new deals.
Why would a company who just got $2 billion in revenue from a sale to Peacock need to free up or acquire more money to go back on the road?
That's
unless you were bringing a bunch of wrestlers in from Japan.
That's $2 billion for rights, not even for a sale. $2 billion for rights, and
you feel me?
And
so it's a lease.
Another $1 billion and some change for 5 years on USA / NBC or Comcast, NBC Universal, and another billion to Fox. So if you keep it square at home, that's $4 billion plus.
So we're not fundraising. None of these are for fundraising reasons.
Was there a flight from hell that we don't know about?
Yes.
The last trip to Saudi.
Nah, I'm talking about last night or this week or Sunday night or something. Like
so there are stories that are like brewing on the internet about the potential sale of the WWE. And
to who?
Who?
The highest bidder,
apparently.
Boy, if Tony Khan walk out on WWE TV,
what are we just talking about?
If Tony Khan walk out on WWE TV, dog.
So we booked this goofy ass scenario.
We can't.
I mean, it's only goofy because of part of the premise. The only part of our premise makes it goofy that Nick and Tony Khan are related somehow. We said brothers, but like they're related.
There's quotes. There's quotes.
Nick is Tony's evil twin brother or something,
or some shit like that.
Third cousin, twice.
Yeah, basically they're related, and Nick is feeding Tony all the information so they know who the bidders are, what the money is, and then eventually Tony's just gonna buy it all when it's time for him to sell.
No, well, not Tony.
No, Tony and Shad.
Big Con.
Shad.
Yeah. The craziest of all this is, first of all, Aleister Black last week in SmackDown with a kick to the face, Black Mass to Big E. How are we going to pick this back up?
You not.
Wait, what we trying to pick up? Who dropped it?
Nothing. Nothing apparently. Aleister Black.
What do you mean?
He's taking it with him.
Yeah, Big E got kicked in the face last week.
Big E, hold this
we're
kick.
gonna move on to something else. Somebody else will jump.
Guess who's still fighting for the Intercontinental Championship?
Big E.
Big E.
Yeah, that's it. Are you gonna find somebody else to take his place? Like, what are we doing?
Guess who's about to go back to Raw?
Big E.
Big E.
Fam, can we end this trial separation?
Put these people back together and let them have fun on Monday nights.
Like,
his homeboy and them got Power Ranger outfits.
I mean, Big E can
for
still.
real. He missed the whole Mortal Kombat era. Don't let him miss the Power Rangers too.
I mean, who but him to portray Jax in this triumvirate? Okay, I don't understand.
He absolutely should have been Jax for the Mortal Kombat gear phase. And now that they're in Power Ranger era, who else is going to be the Black Ranger?
Listen, man.
Can't nobody else be the Black Ranger?
Big E can still have a singles run while being around Woods and Kingston. He don't have to be separated to have a singles run.
He can have a singles run if he goes to buy cigarettes in the trap. What's the difference?
There you go. Perfect.
He's so
sir.
stupid.
You get the body bag of the day of wolf.
I'll be out here trying, bro.
Dog said that.
I'm not even going to try to top that for the rest of the show. I want that to marinate.
So,
in 10 minutes from now, I want you to say it again. Remind them, Wood. That needs to not. That's the tag of the show.
I wish it was, but
Gangsta Grillz episode.
Yeah, exactly. I wish it was, but you bastards. Before we get into that part of the episode, we also have Buddy Murphy.
Buddy Murphy is going back to Australia.
Boudreaux.
Ruby Riott. Where does she end
Ruby's going to AEW.
Yeah, well, going to Impact.
I think she's going to Impact as well. And then also
Ruby going to Impact.
Also, we have Lana.
Britt needed to get beat down. She needed to get beat down by Trudy Tattoo or Trudy Trouble or somebody.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Trudy Tattoo. Oh shit.
Trudy Trainwreck. Trudy. We know who she is.
We got Lana that's going to join her husband.
Yeah,
and get all the bag from Twitch and Instagram.
Man.
And then we also have Braun Strowman and Aleister Black.
I don't understand.
Suave, are you there, sir?
I am.
Okay, there we go.
I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand.
So Lana and Braun Strowman apparently just signed for bags last year. So this is definitely, and Suave and I were talking about this. We were talking about the fact that if you're clearing money to get back on the road, you have to trim fat from those that you can afford to lose, you're going to do that.
It's a lot of people in catering you could have let go.
Well, but how big is their bags though? Like, are you going to let go of 10 people at
300,000
at $50K a pop, or one person at $750? And we're not saying that's what they're making, but that was my speculation was Braun is making closer to that $750,000 to the mil simply because
Braun got a clean millie.
Well,
former world champion.
I mean, that means absolutely nothing. It was a world champion during a pandemic.
I mean,
he was a world champion before then.
So was Drew, and he on his 35th rematch.
Yeah,
67 if we're keeping score.
I mean, yeah. If you, I would say if you count house shows, but they don't do them no more.
But Lana has been around with about as long as Braun Strowman, just re-up for a bag. So I'm sure that bag wouldn't be smaller than the previous bag. And she had revenue from WWE movie a few years ago.
Which probably amounts to what?
Who knows? Because it's recurring revenue.
15, 25,000.
You might be able to buy a tire off a Tesla for that.
Oh my God.
He's not joking.
Yeah, you could probably put a down payment on a Tesla with
I would say from a WWE film, after all is said and done, anywhere between 5 and 10 residual.
Because they're not paying you on the front end. They're not giving you a bag. You're getting the same check that you were getting if you were wrestling on television.
Yeah, you're just not on television.
There's no upfront, and then you waiting on back end money, and then movies like that are getting. They're not even on the network to stream. Some of them are on Peacock now.
We've talked about that before. Like WWE Studios should have all their movies in one landing spot on the network. Now since the network is no more in stateside, you would hope that they can put them on Peacock. I saw one on Netflix last week.
Actually, they were going directly to Netflix. Big Show's show.
No. That's a
Triple H movie.
That's
the movie
a
with
show.
Kofi Kingston.
Wade Barrett was a action star in another film.
Those were directly at Netflix, and they weren't.
No.
It wasn't like they released them anywhere. They promoted that they were released on Netflix.
Because the movie with Halle Berry that had David Otunga in the cameo was released in movies. There was
in theaters.
I do remember that.
The Kane movie that set it all off. That one was in movies.
See No Evil was in theaters, but we're talking about in the current era. We're not talking about.
There was a movie with Dule Hill and Jacob Lattimore that was straight to theaters. There was a WWE movie called Slate. It's on Netflix now.
Right. That we brought that up last week. Yeah, like Peacock has started to try that because like all the movies that they could gather up to have The Rock in it. I think you can find most of the Condemned series on there. I don't know if all 17 Marines are on Peacock. I haven't checked.
As they shouldn't be.
I mean, 6 of them have The Miz. So I mean, you maximize your equity.
That's why they should have it, is because The Miz is on it. But the previous installments had Randy Orton and John Cena.
I'm worried about The Miz right now.
Why?
They couldn't. Ain't nothing worse than being injured and then getting that call from
Miz has got a bag from NBC, from Comcast, NBC Universal. Miz ain't going anywhere.
Nah, Miz locked in.
There you go.
Miz is all the way up.
And he's a lifer.
But it's just Ricochet should be hiding under a table and catering.
Yeah, Ricochet be fine. He'll land right at
he's next. He'll be back in Japan.
Cedric Alexander's another one. Especially since he's got to heat off an angle with a legend, and like the dumbest roll up with a legend involved. Shelton Benjamin is safer than Cedric Alexander is at this point, in my opinion.
I didn't know Cedric Alexander had any beef with a legend.
No, it wasn't beef. It's storyline. Shelton Benjamin.
Oh yeah, well,
I mean,
Cedric Alexander ain't safe. He'll be with his wife.
So the other parts of the story that's out, because like everybody thinks WWE's prepping for a sale, which may or may not be true. There's evidence to lend towards if that's what you think, and then there's like the other lane of thinking that just says they're trying to get more money, as every corporation does. Apparently, from what we've been reading, WWE's taking a different stance on trying to lock up talent to keep them away from AEW.
Right.
Because at this point, I hate to keep using Cornette as the Bible for all this. However, he called it.
What he's talking about.
He knows what he's talking about, and he called it. He was just like, at this point, WWE sees AEW for what they are. They're not the type of competition that they were expecting, so they don't mind letting talent go and basically eating up AEW's reserve, funding for them to sign people with names that weren't going to get on television on WWE anymore anyway. So like Lana they weren't going to come up with anything for Lana for her to be like the face of the company. She wasn't going to have a Becky Lynch moment under current WWE creative.
When you're in a tag team with someone who should be at the top of the women's card, you're expendable anyway. So like her being on TV Monday as a farewell does absolutely nothing to hurt her.
When she got hurt, I want to say after Survivor Series, like when it was climaxing with her story. That was it, because that was as good as it was gonna get creatively for her. Then you have Strowman, who's been sort of mismanaged, in my opinion, creatively. Now he's starting to be injured on a more frequent basis because he's missed time due to injury. Yep. And then we thought he had broken a rib at WrestleMania Backlash. COVID killed Buddy Murphy's push. They took him away from Rollins to put him with the Mysterios. The whole Mysterio family caught COVID, and then that was it.
Which is sad on his part. Ruby Riott, like you put the Riott Squad back together and pushed them on TV to be a force in the women's tag team division, only to break them up yet again.
Again, after Ruby got hurt, they split the group up. Sarah went on to have children. Congratulations on that. Yay. It was just never the same. They brought Liv Morgan back in the midst of a Lana Rusev storyline. And then we thought we were going to see the return of HLA, and that didn't work out. So now it's like, okay,
man, we were damn close Monday.
I'm thankful that I was able to avoid a lot of Monday. I watched the Hulu version of Monday.
I haven't watched Monday yet, but I'm pretty sure it's trash.
The fact that we ended up with another Bobby Lashley Drew McIntyre match, I'm good. Like you had a fresh storyline with Kofi.
So wait a minute, Kofi's not even fighting in a.
Nah, we gotta find something else. They probably gonna be wrestling RK Bro.
We'll see.
Y'all don't care. Yeah,
that's what it is. That's what it is.
Show I don't care about the show that is Raw.
I don't think they care, period. Like, because last night, the best thing, or not last night, Tuesday night on NXT, the best thing that ever happened was Adam Cole giving Karrion Kross the riot act on the phone. On the microphone, should I say. He gave him a nice calm body bag, but it's not, broken pencil replay worthy. It's just what it was, because the rest of the show was ass.
What happened on the rest of the show?
Like I said, it was ass. At any rate,
what happened on the rest of the show? We don't do that. Don't just shat upon them. They have some really good character development.
Go watch the show. We still have AEW Double or Nothing to recap.
Well, that's why I'm asking what happened on the show. In the time that you did that nonsense, you could have just said this, and this.
Next week we'll recap what's going on with NXT, because NXT has a pay-per-view on the following Sunday. This is how we do this. This is how this works. This is how this works.
Continue with your spiel, sir.
AEW Double or Nothing was this past Saturday, or this past Sunday, should I say? Better than I expected, with the exception of Kenny Omega. Well, we got exactly what we expected, and so the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle was probably one of the better crashed, like I guess, beautiful car crashes, train wrecks that you would see. With the highlight putting on Sammy Guevara for getting revenge on taking the pin or calling for the submission during the AEW version of War Games. What the hell is that?
That was me taking a fart on all of what you're talking about right now. Not because you're saying it, because this shit was hokey and corny and a complete. Like, you had a really good pay-per-view going. Dead ass.
Let's run it down.
Because everybody knows I'm good to criticize AEW, but give them credit when it's due. They had a really good show going on right up until the point they did that silly shit with Kenny at the end of his triple threat title defense, and then the corny indie shit just continued all the way through Stadium Stampede. It's like, what the fuck am I watching?
All right, so let's run it down real quick. Serena Deeb versus Rio in the pre-show. Or the buy-in, should I say. Serena Deeb retains the NWA Women's Championship by submission. Adam Page versus Brian Cage was a hell of a match. For an opener, like I got way more from Brian Cage than I expected to. That dude should not move the way he does to be the size that he is. Outstanding match to open up the show. Young Bucks versus Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. I can't dislike the Young Bucks more in real life.
Thank you. The fucking Load Warriors.
The Block Control Express. The Casino Battle Royal was actually better than I expected. With the surprise, the Joker was actually Leo Rush.
Now that was a really well kept surprise. Now that's one thing I can give AEW credit on. They've been able to avoid a lot of stories leaking. When they keep something close to the vest, it stays close to the vest.
Yes,
unless TNT makes them tell it. But all of their reveals have been pretty well kept as far as secret wise.
Like even Christian, when Christian Cage came over, like that was not only was it kept under wraps, it was pretty underwhelming, but it was still good that they kept it under wraps. Speaking of, Jungle Boy wins the Casino Battle Royal by eliminating Christian Cage, who was actually my pick to win it. So the fact that he got all the way to the end,
same here.
Yeah. Hold on. Oh, that's you. The fact that he got all the way to the end was pretty amazing in my opinion, considering how that battle royal went. Because there's some people that got eliminated that shouldn't have got eliminated the way that they did. And Max Caster, oh my God, that dude is he's gold. I think like if they can give him more time for bars, I think he'll far surpass what Cena was trying to do on the microphone.
No, he doesn't need more time for bars. No.
Oh, okay.
Now, more time for wrestling? Certainly. More time for bars? I think we're good.
Hell no.
No more bars.
All right.
Trashington McGee.
The American
he needs right where he's at, maybe even scale back a little bit.
The American
you can definitely
Dream.
scale back. I look at him in the same view as I look at guys with cups that wrestle.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm looking at it from the standpoint of television time. For those of you who are not well versed in the art of verbal linguistics and jousting, a 16 takes about 60 seconds.
That's it.
So an 8, 30 seconds.
He's doing 4s.
You got to get him in that 15 to 30 second range. He needs 4 really good bars, or 8 quick ones.
That's what he's doing.
Like,
he's doing 4 bars.
Went out here prolonging the inevitable. He got to the point.
No, that's what Matt Caster is doing. Max Caster is doing 4 bars, and that's it.
Nah, he's doing 8, especially on Dynamite. He's coming to the ring and doing 8 with the mic and doing 8 bars.
Well,
from the time he comes through the curtain, the time he's finished, he's like 8, 12, sometimes even 16. I need that shit to be short and concise.
If you're counting the crowd hyping, he did 8 on Sunday, but the meat of it was only 4. Actually, no, I'll take that back because he did 4 on Dustin by himself. So yeah, I guess, yeah. All right.
I need you to shorten that. If it's 2 people you rapping at, first 2 bars are for him, second 2 bars are for him. Let's
punch
get
somebody in the face.
But I will say he gave John Moxley 4 with Renee, and that
he did. And think about how much better or how much bigger that would have been if those were the only 4.
Yeah, less is more. Less is more for
that's
sure.
That's it. That's the only thing I'm saying. Less is more, especially with bars. I don't care if you can rap or not. Less is more.
The American Dream, Cody Rhodes with Arn Anderson versus Anthony Ogogo. Something seemed off about the finish of that match. Like I liked the finish, but there was nothing that said American Dream other than the fact that he's Dusty's son.
He's dressed like Fender Rhodes.
He was or Homelander. Your opinion?
Or like one of the Joker. He was also dressed like one of the Joker skins from Mortal Kombat 11.
Man,
I've seen that suit before.
And Anthony Ogogo, who was documented to be legally blind in one eye, had the other eye busted open. So that could have been why this match ended the way that it did.
Anytime there's an injury,
I'm more impressed. I'm more impressed with. I'm more impressed with the fact that that was his like second or third match ever, and he was able to take a vertebraker and not kill himself.
Man, listen, like this. He's gonna be like, if he keeps working, he'll be amazing. They just got to be able to protect that weak side on that eye. Miro,
it's really easy. Stay off my left side, bitch. This is scripted. Like, this is not kickboxing or UFC where it's like, oh, you just gotta feign. You gotta learn how to work to the other side. No, bitch, stay off my left side. I can't see you.
Miro defeats Lance Archer for the TNT Championship, which Jake the Snake tried to pull out a snake. to which Miro swung that thing to the entrance ramp.
Swinging back. That's funny as shit. Like they're absolutely getting it right with Miro now. I don't know what they were doing before, but this Miro, this is the best Miro.
This is the best Miro we've seen since before he put boots on as Rusev.
Fam. Wow. This is WrestleMania 31 in the tank.
Rusev. Like Rusev was in his bag. Don't do him like that, man. Rusev was actually right.
No, I'm saying, but he was better before he put on boots.
It was never the same.
It was not the same because pre-Cena, he was beating everybody. Camel clutching the life out of every single person on the roster. You can find.
Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus Hikaru Shida. We have a new AEW Women's World Champion. And new for sure. Here's what's crazy. TNT, in a cool gesture, decided to pay tribute. And if Britt Baker were to win, they would change their name to TNT DMD Drama for 24 hours.
Got me on board for this.
I was like, yeah, let's do it.
And
Brett.
And after 17 minutes, we got that.
Factual. Yeah, Britt went in. I was. You know what? I am not the biggest fan of AEW's women's division, but I was like, okay, Britt.
It is a bit lackluster.
You know what I'm saying? Britt doing her thing right here. I was like, okay, this is a good look. Like, this is the champion we need. This is the champion we deserve.
Yep, and it helps. It helps when your guy is like of the same pedigree, main event caliber. You know what I'm saying?
And about to get his belt back.
After the body bag I saw, he might be.
And about to get his belt back. Yeah.
Does that mean Kerry ain't finna get called up? Because that's the only reason I see you doing it.
Well, there's no Braun. So we're gonna need another big guy to come over here and fight the tribal chief and lose.
You didn't really do nothing good with Braun when you had him. I mean, he flipped. Last thing I remember him doing that made
flipping
any
the tribal
sense,
chief over.
Yeah, flipping the ambulance. That was it. And after that, it's been mismanagement galore.
I thought for sure Braun was gonna be like literally 20 from about 2017 until right now. Hulk Hogan.
No, you know how we always had that joke about Brock Lesnar and that right hand that he threw after he got caught with that stiff knee?
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar knocked a push out of Braun Strowman.
Hey.
Give me a bell for that.
Give him a bell for that.
All right, there we go. All right, there you go.
That bell. That is his bell.
Tag team match. We had Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky taking on YFN, Darby Allin, and Sting.
YFN Darby is forever funny.
Forever
And Darby was flung from the top from the inside the ring to 2 rows deep into his brothers at ringside by Ethan Page. Meanwhile, Sting is no selling suplexes like he did in 1993.
Sting out here with no back pad, doing dives off a stack of poker chips.
With arms, with guns in tow.
Yeah, he ain't been doing no chest work, but the arms is on point.
He been doing prison curls.
Yeah, the Jockey broke out for Cable.
Yeah, hitting stinger splashes.
He ain't doing no push-ups, and they ended it with a Scorpion Death Drop for the 3 count.
Facts. Took a suplex on the ramp. I was like, oh,
and popped up.
Okay,
and popped up like it was nothing. Like, what suplex, B? Ain't no suplex, B.
Crow Sting apparently doesn't get old.
Let this tell you and let this show you that these lawsuits that WWE's medical staff were the target of have truly affected how they handle things going forward.
Oh, yeah. And, you won't get hurt on our watch.
Right.
And then going forward to the bad part of the show, Kenny Omega defeats Orange Cassidy and Pac for the AEW World Championship. That's it. That's it.
That's perfect.
You don't have to keep embellishing on it.
Nobody has anything to say. No one had anything to say about that match when you brought it up, other than like,
it happened.
It happened. And it was going well. I wasn't the biggest fan of Orange Cassidy being in it, but I understood it. And I'm like, okay, Pac has already been, responsible for a damn near classic with Kenny, so okay, this should be out okay. And then right at the end, we were doing good. Get to the end, you start doing that silly shit. And even the crowd there, who obviously is all pro AEW, was like, nah, this ain't it.
Bullshit.
Oh!
A bullshit chant. Can you imagine how bad it has to be for the first time you have a full crowd back at Daly's Place for a pay-per-view and they chant bullshit at your semi-main event?
Also,
at your co-main event?
Also, fuck you, Don.
Wow.
Is that like I hate you, Don heat, or is that like the world famous X-Pac heat?
Right.
Go away heat. It's definitely go away. It's definitely go away heat. There's no other kind of heat for Don Callis, but like we're sick of seeing him.
Well, that guy's been signed as a consultant, so what you gonna do now?
Put him on the stick and keep him away from ringside.
You can't do both.
Well,
put him in the back.
Wait, so not only has he been signed on as a consultant, but the last time I saw he was removed from Impact's roster page.
So is it a work or a shoot?
Yes.
All right.
Finally, your Stadium Stampede match includes the Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle. One of the most tasteless entrances we have seen in close to 20 years. The Inner Circle all come rappelling down from the top of an outdoor arena with carabiners and rope. And one person comes to mind, and may he forever rest in peace. I have no idea who thought that this would be the move, but it definitely was not the move. Didn't take away from the match though. The match was the train wreck.
You're dealing with a lot of people that smoke a lot of dope, and somewhere
got a lot of dope.
You feel what I'm saying? So at some point, somebody was smoking dope and thought this would be a good idea. Sent it to the group text or had a small meeting and then exposed it to the larger group, and everybody was like, "All right, cool, it'll be dope," not realizing that when you saw it. This don't play well. But this isn't the first time they've had a tone deaf ass moment. You remember YF and Darby got dragged from behind a truck.
Facts.
mean, Matt dived off to actual concrete.
Split his dome piece.
His wife.
You knew this was gonna go bad when on the Go Home episode they were doing jumping pile drivers off like stadium seating through tables on the field level.
No.
You knew it was going to be bad if that was the Go Home show. And then no one sold it at all on Sunday.
Somebody shouldn't have showed up on Sunday.
Not a neck brace, not an ace bandage, not an ice pack, nothing.
Notable cameos in this match. Shad Khan via cardboard cutout. We also had...
That was funny.
Jacksonville Jaguars assistant coach Charlie Strong. We also had
former University of Texas head coach.
Bitch, Texas.
Nice.
We also had current Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Urban Meyer. We also had the great, incomparable Conan as a DJ.
K-Dog.
Am I missing anybody? I don't understand how you have a beer in a nightclub scene and don't have Adam Page.
I don't
Adam
know.
Page was in a fight earlier with a robot.
Yeah, much earlier. 3 hours earlier. 4 hours earlier, actually.
I don't know. Like it's just loose ends, and they refuse to tie up the loose ends. Which I figured they're not tying up that particular loose end because it's part of him and Kenny finally getting. Page is going to end up champion at some point in the next 6 months.
We can hope.
Just wishful thinking at this point, or is it really going to happen?
I think it's going to happen because Moxley's preoccupied with the New Japan, the IWGP US title, and in the tag team division. So I think he's going to be around. Honestly, I think Eddie Kingston and John Moxley will get the tag belts before Page gets the world title. But he's definitely in the title picture before the year is up. I think he's going to be in the title picture.
Like I keep hoping that the FTR is going to get a rematch with the Bucks and take the belts back that way. But now I'm looking at it like Moxley and Kingston should probably end up being the transition to get off the Bucks back onto FTR.
Yes.
Word.
And there has to be because what's the next pay-per-view? Because I don't think we're doing Fighter Fest or Fight for the Fall this year.
All Out's
going to be the next one, which is going to be in Chicago Labor Day Sunday rather, which is a welcome change of pace. We get a chance to actually get back to getting crowds in. We'll see how that pans out, but All Out is usually the breakout show for talent and for surprises. Not to mention, speaking of surprises, we got a huge surprise on this one. AEW has signed Mark Henry as a coach and as an announcer for a new show they're having,
Rampage.
AEW Rampage, which is debuting in August of this year.
Wait! I thought Rampage wasn't starting until they moved to TBS.
No, according to what Tony Schiavone said, unless this was a misspeak on his part,
quite possible.
Which it is, which very well is quite possible that's the case. But he was saying that Fridays on in August, starting in August. And let me do my Googles on that one real quick.
I mean, he could be right, but I thought from what we read last week, it was supposed to be. Dynamite moves to TBS next year. Was it January? And then that's when you also get the 3rd hour programming that stays on TNT, but it's on Fridays after SmackDown.
Confirmed to be premiering on TNT Friday, August 13th at 10 p.m. Eastern Time.
Well, fuck around with the fuck around then.
So we're going to have Friday Night Wrestling on TNT. So that means AEW will be on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Do you realize the commentary team for Rampage might end up being bigger than like 99% of the roster?
Yep. I've been thinking about that the whole time y'all been talking.
Mark Henry and Paul White.
And whoever you put next to him, which I would actually
Paul White.
Yeah, exactly. At that point, they're bigger than the whole roster.
There you go.
Yeah, because you just lost Willie Urbina, so you can't get him in.
Well, you want to explain that while we're on here?
Wow.
Willie Urbina took the opportunity while on the live mic during a commercial break on the Fight TV to make fun of Hikaru Shido's accent.
Not a single person in the building thought that was funny.
They didn't give him an opportunity to apologize or take sensitivity training or HR didn't give him any opportunity to atone for his mistakes in order to keep his job. However, there's a guy with a mask. Excalibur.
You
fuck
bitch.
That
guy. and yeah. And so that's your pay-per-view there. If you like train wrecks, if you like foreshadowing of future events, if you like new stars being made, watch this Stadium Stampede match. Other than that, there's no value for this match other than the fact that it built Sammy Guevara and further buried Sean Spears.
You just buried Sean Spears. You shit on the Pinnacle after putting them in the space that they're in. It's like, does everything just exist in a 2-week vacuum?
Yep.
None of this is real.
We're living in the snow globe.
We can't use that for them anymore. They have fans.
Yeah, they had 17,000 people there.
Yeah, they broke their snow globe.
This is what they wanted to do a year ago.
They tried, I guess.
Okay.
I guess.
Wasn't the Inner Circle beefing with somebody a year ago?
The de facto elite, yeah.
Yeah, the elite, yeah. But it's, I mean, even still then, it was a different feel, quote unquote. And they just did they just basically redid the match. So if Stadium Stampede is going to be the war games for the good guys, if you will, the Inner Circle is going to be there again next year. Apparently,
please no. Please no.
Apparently, there's room for factions. I don't want to see the
Inner Circle do this every year.
But this is what I don't want to see, though. I don't want to see AEW turn into New Japan, where everybody's affiliated with a faction.
Oh no, that's already happening.
It's here.
You can hang that shit up. They explained it. Like the Young Bucks went public because there was like some backlash about so many factions, and that was literally almost verbatim the response from the Bucks. And I almost want to say Tony Khan got in on the conversation too. Just like everyone gets with a faction. Basically, you get more people on television. Everybody has something going on. No, they're absolutely copying New Japan with the faction shit.
And nobody's gonna sit at home, everybody.
Well,
meanwhile, the Dark Order's been in
disbanded.
And they've elevated their talent and have been in shambles ever since Brody Lee passed.
No direction whatsoever.
How does that happen?
It's a comedy act now. It's nothing like what the original incarnation was supposed to be. So I guess when they go ahead and cut Bray Wyatt in this next round of releases, we might see something.
I mean, he's probably at home begging for it. He's probably sending subtweets right now.
Fam, I'm like, because considering who got cut today, and they say there's more coming, I don't see how he makes it. I don't see it.
Nope.
I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop because now at this point nobody's off limits.
His brother gone. His kayfabe brother is gone.
All his homies gone from
his other kayfabe brother has shown up on AEW.
Yeah, all the homies gone.
His other homie has gone on to the Heaven Wrestling Federation, and he was a legacy in itself. So that was just a match waiting to happen.
In the immortal words of Pimp C, the game fucked up. I ain't got no friends.
Yeah. So what I'm waiting on is for the
last $70,000 on the drop top Benz is what I'm waiting for.
There you go. Because when he shows up, and he will show up, please understand, I don't feel like AEW is going to handle it wrong. Because Matthew Hardy is there.
I don't know. That gave me a horrible feeling. That right there.
That Matthew Hardy is there?
just
You don't think he can handle Bray?
did they handle Matt Hardy correctly?
Broken was far from woken. It was great value.
High top,
Always save.
bruh. What's Aldi's brand?
Whatever.
Okay, there you
It's
go.
got a B on it.
Or what's the one from Tom Thumb? Organics. Like, it's gonna be organic trash.
I feel like with him close to what Bray is trying to do, he at least has an advocate that will go in there and be like, no, I trust his ideas. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
I mean, take him all the way back to serial killer Bray, because the Cape Fear serial killer Bray.
I miss Cape Fear Bray, bro.
Because
Cape Fear Bray.
Yeah, anything that requires a high production value, like
a stadium
AEW will film like great vignettes, or they'll use like high definition cameras for the pre-tapes, but after that, it's all downhill.
It sucks.
So yeah, I'd rather not. I'd rather them not try to recreate any of the sci-fi element to anything Bray's ever done. Just make him a serial killer with a really good promo and cut it loose.
Swamp Man.
That's it.
Wyndham Rotunda.
On that note, show brokenpistolbc.com, brokenpistolbc@gmail.com. You already know the hashtag. Suave, take us to the house. Shit.
Hey, before we get out of here, let me go ahead and shout out to Hot Girl Summer, because Johnny Ace has been on his shit in a major way. Coming to WWE for SummerSlam, Cardi B, y'all.
Okay.
So for those keeping score at home, Cardi B will be live on the cock.
Uncensored. Not gonna get canceled for that.
No, just that.
Not at all.
Well, everybody, catch y'all on the next run.
Yeah, I was hoping to see if we could find a way to get Meg to in also on SummerSlam, but yeah, not gonna advocate for her to be on the cock. That's gonna get you canceled. So, yeah, if you're looking for a singles run, make sure you go to the corner store.
They gotta have chips and gin.
Heads up, pencils down.
Oh shit.